Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is Nestor Gibbs.
And I'm Ring Walk Danny. What's going on, guys? What are we doing today? Canelo, Bivol, tomorrow. You know, something different about this show today, Nestor. I don't know what it is.
Can't wait, man. You know, super excited to watch this fight. Canelo going up to 175, man. It's amazing what he's done in the boxing world.
And he's just generating more and more attention to the sport. People are talking. Anytime he fights, I mean, people are just in it, and just put the. Do you feel like people just keep overlooking his opponents? I feel like every time Canelo fights, they're already talking about who he should fight after this fight. You know, do you feel like people overlook the opponents?
You know what, man? You know, I gotta give him proud. You know, because you know he's a very disciplined guy, man. I feel that right now at this point, man, he can do anything he wants. I think.
Speaking of anything he wants, did you see what he told Barack from Akam Barack? Did you hear what? Did you see what Barack his Instagram boxing bully? I don't know if you guys saw what he posted the other day, that Canelo apparently told one of his team members that if they can get Usyk to make 201 pounds even, he'll go up and beat him.
See, that's
what I'm saying. People are talking, but we got Bivol first, right? I mean, do you think first of all, do you think Usyk can even make 201? I don't even know if Usyk can get back down to that weight.
I think he could do it. I think he could do it, but that would be a little bit too much now. You know, I think, especially him, man. You know, he's one of my favorite fighters too, and he's a dangerous fighter, man. He does angles. He's a monster, man. So
and he's big. I mean, he's 6'3".
Exactly. So I don't see that. But anything's possible right now these days, man. These guys are just breaking records and look good.
Yeah. And but do you think people are overlooking Bivol? I mean, you're talking about these things. I mean, I feel like Bivol is a real live guy here, man. I feel like he's not getting the respect. Granted, every time it's a Canelo fight week, let's face it, the opponent really never gets a lot of respect. You know, he's just kind of there as a bridesmaid to Canelo being the bride. But ultimately, I feel like Bivol is legitimately dangerous. He's a natural 175. He's more in his prime than was Kovalev when Canelo fought Kovalev. The only other time he was a fight night light heavyweight. Bivol is a busy guy. He comes to win, and he's undefeated. You know,
he's a champion for a reason, man. Yeah. He's a champion for a reason. I think there's going to be an exciting fight, a really good fight. One of them is going to go down early, I think, because both of them come forward.
So you think the power of Canelo carries over again? Because, I mean, he was a one-punch knockout over Kovalev, but I feel like Kovalev almost didn't want to be there. I feel like we're going to see a Bivol that wants to be there. Then whether he can win or not is a different story, but I feel like we're going to get a Bivol that actually wants to be in the ring with Canelo and wants to fight. You know, can Canelo then get that respect with that kind of power? Can he hurt him like that?
Well, I think, I mean, he has to show the world, man. I think he's going to come forward. He's going to try to beat him. I just think, man, we won't know until we see that fight. You know, the first round, second round, we'll put everything together.
I mean, those first rounds are butterflies,
exactly, man. But
you know what I noticed about Canelo? His opponents, because it's like he's like this generation's Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, whatever, all the guy, the man of the generation. That first round for the opponents, no matter how good of a fighter they are, that first round, it's like they're still kind of caught in headlights, man, and like a deer in headlights. The crowd is so loud, and it's just a big spectacle. You know, Canelo, he's like he's in his living room. He's been there. He's done that. He already understands the spectacle.
Yeah, I think, like you said, man, but Bivol, he doesn't box that much. He's a good boxer, don't get me wrong, but he comes forward. Canelo comes forward. So that's we're going to see who's stronger and who's going to push.
Two rams locking horns, bro.
Exactly. So I think like first round, second round, we'll definitely figure it out.
All right, we're going to a commercial break here. We'll be back.
What up, TBV? Welcome to the Fight Stars Fight House Mansion. David Benavidez is inside training. Let's give you a walkthrough. Come on on.
Saturday, May 7th, 5 p.m. Oh!
Tomorrow, Benavidez fights. It goes down.
quiet with the vacuum going?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. And we are live from the Fight Stars Fight House here with not only Paulie Malignaggi, but Jose Benavidez Sr. and Daniel Alvarez. I am Nestor Gibbs, and we're going to be talking about, obviously, Canelo Alvarez, Dmitry Bivol, and we're going to give our weigh-in reactions.
Well, you don't introduce your guests. We just got here. You guys have been hosting the whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
We
Paulie
just got
Malignaggi,
here. Yo,
Jose
we just got
Benavidez
here.
Sr.
Well, I'm glad to be on the show. Welcoming myself in. How you doing?
Paulie, what's up, man? Come on. I know we were running a little bit late, man, but
No.
I get here.
What are you talking about? Nobody saw that. You guys were here the whole time.
All right.
Nobody saw that. We started. The show started on time.
They're saying Danny doesn't have an Italian accent in the chat.
What's going on, Paulie?
So have you guys had an opportunity to watch the weigh-in?
Nah.
No?
I haven't,
Oh, all right. So I'm going to send Austin. Austin, can you go ahead and play the weigh-in for me? It is on Dazn Instagram. We could get a clip. I'm going to send it to you, actually. Why can't I not copy-paste? What's up with this?
But both men did make weight. I found it interesting for Canelo to be moving up and to be on a mostly vegan diet. Paulie, did you think anything of that? Wouldn't you think he'd want to be putting meat into his body?
Listen, I mean,
Moving up in weight?
I mean, I can't assume anything. Listen, one thing I'll say is this, okay? Canelo has enough money to afford the best dietitians, the best supplement guys, and the best everything. So I feel like if he changed his diet, it's probably something he may have tried in the off season, so to speak, in between camps to see how he feels. I don't think you necessarily try something new in a training camp. I can't see a guy like that with his experience and with the intelligence of a team that he has, because, you know, like I said, when you have that kind of money, you can afford the smartest people around you. I can't figure to think that he just randomly went on this vegan diet and just trying it for this fight. I think this is something that he probably already has experimented with in the past.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they had to experience and see how he feels in sparring and the days when he's training.
Yeah.
You can't go to a fight with something new, you know?
And you don't even go to the training camp that way. They probably tried this before training camp.
Exactly.
Or,
They had to
have experimented before. Because
see how the energy feels and all that too.
Have either of you guys implemented a vegan diet into your training camps and or your fighters training camps?
No, not yet, man. You know, but I tried. Actually, I started like about 2 weeks ago and trying to leave the chicken, the red meats and all that. Man, I felt bad, you know, the first 2 days.
But you were trying it for yourself.
First, for myself, you know, and I, you know, actually whatever the boxers go through, I have to go through in order to understand and see how they feel, you know. It's not that none of my fighters want to go vegan, you know, but I think I want to try it. You know, I want to see how it feels, and maybe I could recommend it or not, you know.
Yeah, Timothy Bradley was definitely famous for going vegan during his 8 weeks of training camp. For the last part of his career, he would be going vegan. We'll see, man, if that plant-based power actually gives Canelo some power. Do either of you expect for Canelo to lose any sort of power? Danny, obviously, we'll start with you, being on the far left. Do you think Canelo loses any power not being on his normal diet?
I think not just not being on his normal diet, but also going up in weight. We got to think he's been campaigning at 68 for quite, the last several fights. So the last 4. So I think because of both of those reasons, he'll definitely lose some pop and some power moving up.
Paulie, with the high guard of Bivol, I'm assuming, right, that the plan will be to attack that body. Is it that simple, or do you think it's going to be a lot more intricate than that?
I think it's a little bit more intricate than that because Bivol has good legs. He's in and out, so you've got to find the range to get to the body because Bivol's a little bit taller. So I do think Bivol gives you opportunities to counter him to the body, and I think that Canelo tends to get your timing down if you don't start to change your rhythm. We've seen over the course of the last couple of fights and just overall in his career, he's a smart fighter. He starts to kind of hone in on the rhythm that you give him if you don't mix it up enough. So I think it's important for Bivol to mix up that in and out that he does. Maybe, I don't know how he's going to do it with some feints or just throwing in different punches or whatnot. It's up to him, whatever he's working on. But I think if he starts to become sort of mechanical and sort of repetitive with it, I think you're going to start to see Canelo get to that body with some of those counters, especially as far as getting to it leading up to it. I think early on it's not going to be that easy because again, Bivol's taller and Bivol has good legs. You got to close the gap at first, so you got to work on closing that gap first, and so that's going to be sort of the first battle of many sub battles, many subliminal little wars inside the overall big war, and that first one is going to be Canelo cutting that distance and trying to be effective with that distance, while Bivol is trying to maintain that long distance and use that busy style that he has. I mean, I think Bivol naturally is a busier guy, which gives him an advantage in terms of ability to win rounds. Canelo usually gets you to diminish your output by making you hesitant based on his counterpunching ability. So I want to see who wins that part of it because Bivol is usually a little bit busier.
Jose, when it comes to Bivol, how can you explain, I guess, the differences between Sergey Kovalev? Why would a Dmitry Bivol be more dangerous than a Sergey Kovalev, who was a 3-time 175-pound champ? How can you explain to the audience why Bivol is more dangerous, if not as dangerous? Or do you think the opposite? Was Kovalev, with his experience and all the time he shared the ring with Ward, does that make him slightly more of a problem for anyone?
I see it a different way. I don't think Bivol is going to bring any danger to Canelo.
Oh, wow.
To be honest with you, he's a great fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's a champion for a reason. He's really good at what he does. We sparred before because of the experience we had sparring with him, with David Benavidez. If you stay on the outside, he has a pretty good jab in the right hand. He has a really good right hand. And he's really good at fundamentals, basics there if you stay in front of him. I think the key for Canelo, like Paulie said, he's going to have to use some feints, man. Make him think that he's going to stay there and move to the side and cut the distance a little bit and maybe attack the body a little bit more and give him more pressure. Because I think Bivol, when you're inside, he struggles a little bit. He needs that distance. And I think Canelo is going to stay short, move, feint, make him throw something so he can counter on something like that. And if Bivol decides to put his guard up, he's going to throw to those elbows, those shoulders, behind those elbows to the body and make him open up a little bit so he can throw something so he can counter with a good shot. That's what I think.
So a little bit of that Callum Smith plan, beat his bicep if he's in the high guard.
And find his way in. Cut the distance, I think, so he can take that right hand away.
See, for me though, Callum was sort of more stationary than Bivol. I don't see Bivol being that kind of stationary guy. Even Callum in the fights that he was doing well, he was still a bit more stationary, very, very, very well, good fundamentally, but a bit more stationary. Bivol naturally is not as stationary, so cutting that distance on him is gonna be a little bit more of a tricky thing. Yeah. To tell you the truth, I've never found Canelo's feet to be that fast. Like he's got sharp, quick hands, but his feet have never been that fast. He consistently pressured Golovkin, though, in the rematch. He consistently brought that pressure. But that's a smaller guy. You're going to be able to... And a guy who doesn't have as quick a legs as Bivol, right? So I think it's important that he cuts off the ring, but I'm curious to see where he goes with that, man, because he's not got the fastest feet, Canelo. He sort of likes to be comfortable in that right here, like, where he can kind of square off with you and be tricky. But in terms of closing that gap, a lot of times I don't even see him pushing off his back foot when he jabs in, really. He doesn't even jab with that strong, like, stepping in hard with it. You know what I mean? So, again, closing that gap on Bivol, for me, that's the fight. But I think it's a little bit more tricky.
Like Paulie says, I mean, he's not good at his feet, but he does move his waist a lot. So he's going to make him, miss, and throw something, miss, and throw something. And that's when I said cut the distance, it's not like he's going to go in and move and use his legs. He's just going to make a miss in order to hit something and cut the distance little by little. That's what I think, Like I said, if he shells and keeps his hands up, he's going to hit those shoulders, man.
Make them miss, make them pay. Well, Danny Alvarez, obviously I know that Ringwalk does not want the third Gennady Golovkin fight, but can you at least explain to us why you believe that Bivol is a better fight than Gennady, or do you still think even that third Gennady Golovkin fight that you don't want would be a better fight than this Bivol fight that we're having Saturday night?
No, I think obviously it's more of a challenge. We've seen better of Bivol lately than we've seen of Gennady. I think lately of Gennady we see a Gennady past his prime, a Gennady that doesn't have the power that he used to have not as quick as he used to be, gets tired, so to me, I think Bivol provides more of a challenge, has a very, very sharp jab in my opinion, and I think for those reasons, it provides that challenge, and of course, it's a new established belt for Canelo. Bivol has been an established champion, so to me, that's always a plus. But I think just Bivol's been sharper lately.
I want you to share that experience we had this afternoon, which is a little bit funny because, Jose, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you spoken to the gardener once or twice, being as though you've been here for so long. But we had an exchange with him, and he is not spending his money on this fight with Canelo Alvarez and Dmitry Bivol. I thought he was saying, I'm not going to pay for this pay-per-view because of Bivol. What was, the exact phrase that he used is obviously not common to me.
No, he basically was just saying that he isn't fighting anybody, that he should be fighting David, which I do agree that that's a fight that should happen. But I'm like, yo, you do realize, like, he just fought, like, all these champions, and he's like, yeah, but they're nobodies. Like, I'd rather watch him go. I'm like, so I asked him, like, what do you think about the Golovkin fight?
The fans, man, are always going to want to watch something exciting. Is this an exciting fight? Not to me either. I'm not trying to be jealous here, but to me, I'm not excited.
But the fear of him moving up to 75 to face a young, hungry champion, because we can admit this isn't Sergey Kovalev. There isn't anything hiding. This is just a disciplined fighter. Unlike Kovalev, that there were some history with him not being disciplined in camp. John David Jackson coming out. So isn't this still more dangerous? He's got to be. Like, I mean, if Kovalev made it to 11, Paulie, and
I thought Kovalev wasn't really hungry in the fight, but I still thought Kovalev did pretty well in the fight. Honestly,
some people thought he was winning.
I thought he was winning.
I thought he was older than
He was
Bivol.
nitpicking him. He wasn't the killer Kovalev though. He wasn't the crusher Kovalev in that fight though. He was kind of like touching him, and I was kind of like,
that's the
I was
point.
kind of like, what is he doing? You know what I mean? Like, but I still, again, you could see Canelo's problems closing the gap in that fight. Like he's got slow feet, and that was. And listen, the judges are going to have you ahead no matter what. Let's face it, bro. In reality, before we go any further, we're watching this fight for the entertainment value. If this goes the distance, we already know what's going to happen no matter what happened inside the ring. You know what I mean? So we're watching. In boxing, unfortunately, as fans, we're reduced to just watching the fight for the entertainment value of two guys getting it on, giving us a good fight. Then if it goes to the cards, it's not like we don't know what's going to happen already. You know what I mean? Regardless of how it played out inside the ring. But having said that, I think Bivol is hungrier than Kovalev. Listen, you guys already know how I feel about Eastern European fighters, So I think this guy's gonna be hungry. I don't think he's gonna be as intimidated as I felt like Billy Joe and Caleb. They were very good fighters, but when they got in the ring, there's a spectacle. I was telling David before. I was telling Jose before. There's a spectacle about getting inside the ring with Canelo. You know what I'm saying? There's a spectacle about he's the superstar of the moment. He's the Ray Leonard, he's the Floyd Mayweather, he's this generation, it's Canelo. So that spectacle can bite at you emotionally when you're inside the ring with him, especially that first round, the walkout, the introductions, the first round. And I think some of these guys were sort of like deer caught in headlights early in the fight, and some of them never got into the fight. I never thought Billy Joe Saunders got into the fight. I've seen Billy Joe find his range very well in certain fights, be very comfortable. He never found his distance in the Canelo fight. He was throwing every left hand from too far away. He was too hesitant to get close enough to throw the left hand from the proper distance. I've never seen Billy Joe fight that way. You can say it's Canelo doing that. Yeah, I think it was more Canelo's reputation than it was actually anything Canelo was doing, because Canelo wasn't exactly changing range on him at all. But again, Billy Joe just couldn't get that extra 6 to 8 inches inside, where when he threw the left hand, it was at a good point. It was always coming up just a little short, or if he landed it, it was on the end of the shot where it wasn't doing anything. And finally, he paid the price for that when he threw a left hand for too far away and got hit with a monster counter uppercut, because Canelo will get the timing on you if you don't get creative on him. So what I'm saying is,
what exactly is creative?
But what I'm saying, creative is like Jose said, to change the angle a little bit, step around, you give it some feints. Don't be repetitive. Just because something is working, when you're fighting a world-class fighter like Canelo, just because something is working, it doesn't mean it's going to keep working on you. As a matter of fact, a world-class fighter like Canelo will make you think it's working and suck you in for the big counter. You know what I mean? Make you feel like it's comfortable and then suck you in to make you pay for it. So you got to deal with that. But what I'm saying is basically, to go back to where I was starting about Eastern European fighters, the fighters from certain parts of the world, they got ice in their veins. You know what I mean? These guys, they're a little bit like emotionless. That's kind of what I like about those fighters from that part of the world. So I think Bivol is going to fight the fight. You know, whether he wins or not, then it's up to everybody's. But I think he's going to fight the fight. I don't think he's going to be caught up in the moment. Kovalev, a younger Kovalev would have also fought the fight. You know what I mean? But an older Kovalev was taking his $15 million and going home, bro. He's saying, if I can win this fight, I'll win it. But I'm not going to put myself at risk. I got my family at home. I got my kids at home. I got my wife at home. I'm good. But when you are still young, still hungry, still with that drive in front of you to make your name, you fight a different mentality. And I think when you're from certain parts of the world, it's that ice in your veins is a little bit colder, you know? It's not saying Bivol wins or loses the fight. It has nothing to do with a prediction for the winner or loser. But what I'm saying is, I think Bivol fights the fight. I think he comes to fight the fight. Then whatever happens, happens. But I think he's going to come to fight the fight. And he's going to stay in there to fight the fight.
Jose, in that first Gennady Golovkin fight, it felt like Canelo went into it on the back foot. I don't know if it was like Paulie was saying, where, you know, people, or rather Canelo was caught up in Gennady's alleged power and went into it on the back foot. Second fight, it seemed like, oh, I felt that power. I can stand in the middle and give you lateral movement, but
he got hurt.
But he didn't have to go on that back foot.
No. He fought. He adjusted the game plan, but he got hurt in the second fight. Golovkin hurt him in round 11.
Do we see a little of that in this fight, where maybe in the first rounds he takes the back foot to feel him out and then eventually stands his ground, or is he just too big of a guy for him to go forward on?
You got to understand, Golovkin, man, had a lot of tools, and he adjusted to everything. The shots that he throw from top, uppercuts, body shots, jabs, right hands, he had a lot of tools, man. He knew when to use them. So the first fight, I think he did very well. That's all he does. Triple G comes forward. So I think he did good. In my opinion, I think he won that fight. The second fight, Canelo won that fight, in my opinion. I think he came forward and was determined to beat him and go forward too, I think. And that's what the difference, I can't even compare Golovkin to Bivol. Bivol's just, to me, it's basic. 1-1-2. I mean, to me, but maybe I could be wrong, No,
I think he is more basic. I think Golovkin has a bit more versatility to his style, but I think Bivol's bigger. He's more enthusiastic. He's a little quicker with his feet, so it's a little bit something that you can be basic, but if you're basic with quick feet, you're suddenly not basic even when you're basic. You know what I mean? If you're basic when you're slow feet, it's a lot easier to time. But when you're basic with quick feet, the range changes. You know what I mean? So it can complicate things just a little bit more. So I'll dare to say Golovkin probably might be a bigger puncher than Bivol, even though Bivol's a pretty good puncher at light heavyweight. I mean, it's possible. I thought Golovkin hurt Canelo in the second fight. I thought the second Golovkin and Canelo fight was a battle of adjustments. I think that's what gets lost in the second fight. I mean, Canelo made a big adjustment coming forward, closing the gap, biting down and taking it to him. But I thought Golovkin also made a real adjustment to say, man, this guy, I can't stop this guy from coming forward. Let me back up on the jab and box him. I thought Golovkin did a great job boxing. I thought Canelo made a great adjustment coming forward. I thought it was a battle of two world-class fighters that made world-class adjustments in the fight. I think that's what gets lost in the second fight. Then again, I mean, I thought Golovkin won the second fight too by making that adjustment. But again, it was a better fight. It was a close fight. And for me, the appreciation gets lost because people get with, oh, you thought you won. Forget about that, bro. The adjustments two world-class fighters made in that fight, man, that's, I don't know. For me as an ex-fighter, that's something that I could really appreciate. Watch that. Like, I like watching the nuances, man. I like seeing the nuances. Maybe not everybody sees the nuances. Maybe not everybody has the educated eye I have, but I love the nuances I saw in that fight. Like, it was just a big turnaround from the first fight. Both guys. Like, Canelo made this big adjustment, came ready for it, and mentally he was ready for that adjustment. And Golovkin's like, oh, man, all right, we're going to do it this way. All right, I'm going to adjust back to you. And it was chess at such a high level. I mean, for me, it was beautiful to watch.
Paulie, what do you say to the people that say, obviously, Golovkin's jab is a great jab, and that gave Canelo a lot of problems. Bivol has a great jab as well. What do you say to those people?
I feel like Cotto's jab even gave Canelo some problems. I don't think Canelo's a big jabber. I think if you have a consistently good jab, you can give Canelo certain issues. I think that the jab is certainly a key to getting Canelo's respect, or at least sort of disassembling Canelo's attack a little bit, sort of throwing him for a loop because he's got to, he has trouble getting out of the way of a good jab. If you don't have a good jab, though, the guy will counter you badly because he's very good counter puncher. So you're playing with fire there when you talk about jabbing at Canelo. You better know how to do the jab. You better know how to throw the jab. You better know how to vary the jab. But if you know how to do that, guys with good jabs, I feel like they've given Canelo some problems. I think Cotto gave Canelo more problems than actually is talked about in that fight with that jab. I thought it allowed Cotto to control more rounds than were necessary just on the jab alone. You know what I mean? I thought Golovkin gave issues to Canelo with the jab in the second fight. And yeah, with Bivol, I mean, he's a tall guy. I expect to try to see him using that jab as a tall, rangy guy who's mainly, as Jose said, with the straight punches. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I would mainly expect to see a consistent jab out of a guy like that.
I'll tell you something, I think if Bivol trains and he comes at his best with condition and just uses that jab, I think he could win that fight with just the jab. Yeah. But he has to commit. He has to change the levels. He has to feint,
yeah, he has to,
jab,
and he has
double
to, and
jab.
you can't sleep on that. You can't sleep on that, just that jab because Canelo is like a computer chip, bro. Canelo's like a computer, bro. I'm telling you, he's registering it, and when he counters, you see him like, whoo.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, it's like, whoa. Like, it's just like, oh, man. Like, what was that? You know what I mean? Meantime, he was already processing that from rounds before, So you really have to know how to balance out your attack. But that's what I'm saying.
He has to feint. He has to do double jabs, tap jabs, stiff jabs, and then let the right hand go right
Absolutely.
away.
Absolutely.
Those just fundamentals like that.
Absolutely.
But he has to have a lot of condition in order to keep up with.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get tired. That's it. No more.
Of course.
Now, we've seen guys like Tank and Canelo. Canelo in the Sergey Kovalev fight, he kind of did this pity pat thing as he's walking in, kind of parrying your incoming jab or right hand, slipping to the right or rather to his left, so to land that left hook. Is that something that you think we would see him kind of squaring up like you talked about, but walking down a Bivol?
In my opinion, I think when you have a good jab, a lot of people think jab to the face. No, there's shoulders, there's chest, there's stomach. Once you mix it up, every time you throw a jab to the stomach, people tend up to go there. They're off balance. They're not ready to throw a shot right there. But when you're just throwing to the face, guess what? Canelo's gonna capitalize on that and try to counter on that. You gotta throw to the chest, to the shoulders, jab upstairs to the stomach, and then let that right hand go.
Especially with Canelo's head movement, that's a very hard target to.
But that's when he's moving, let's go to the body. The head moves, but not the body.
Yeah,
don't you think?
I thought it was the same. I mean, I actually think of the Danny Jacobs fight when Jacobs missed a bunch of shots and when Canelo was really breezing through that defensively. And you're thinking about, like, why doesn't he go to the chest? Shoot that even to the body, but even to the chest right here. Because if you land, say, like a right hand to the chest, and a guy's moving his head, right? And you land just a right hand right here to the chest, it's not going to hurt him. What it's going to do is it's going to break that rhythm. It's going to stop that rhythm. And then you can, you can shoot right off that. So, like, a lot of times you freeze the guy with that right hand right here. He might be a nice smooth flow, moving his head. Bang, that shit hits it right here. I mean, you can follow up right there because you've broken that flow. It stunted it. It hasn't hurt him, but it broke the flow, and you can follow that up right there.
I'll give you a disrupt him.
I'll give you a good example. Shakur against Valdez. What a beautiful job with that jab, mixing it up to the stomach, to the chest, to the face. I mean, can Bivol do that for 12 rounds?
That was a strange fight, though, because Oscar himself chose not to use his jab. See, I don't foresee a Bivol just throwing up the earmuffs and trying to look for a way in without a jab. I don't know what Oscar was thinking.
That was also a right hand versus southpaw. Sometimes guys get confused. I'm telling you, some guys get confused for jabbing and southpaws. I'm telling you, especially a guy like Oscar who's not really known as a jabber to begin with against even right-handers. So he saw the left-hander in front of him. I think he psyched himself out.
Well, you guys changed the subject to that. What did you guys think of what Bob said, where Shakur wants to be undisputed in that division? You still have Roger Gutierrez in the WBA,
Ogawa
in the IBF, but he's like, man, those fights are not going to sell. No one's going to watch that. Shakur should not worry about undisputed and go for bigger name fights. What would you want to see Shakur do at 130 now that he's beaten Oscar Valdez?
I mean, for me, I don't think he's in a rush. I don't think there's no need to rush the kid. I mean, what is he, 23? 24?
24.
I mean, why rush the kid? Why not let him go undisputed? I mean, what do you mean? Like, exactly. The kid is 24 years old. Why you got to rush the fight?
Bob's exact words were, those guys won't draw shit.
Well, you move the kid too fast and you wear him out too fast. It's not gonna draw shit either. Then I mean, you're gonna curtail his career. Like let the kid build up, because whether they draw shit or not, the kid becomes the undisputed world champion at 24, 25 years old, when already having won a world title at 126. Now you've got a resume that draws a lot. You now have a resume that draws a shitload against anybody. You know what I mean? Once you've accomplished that. So you're more so filling the resume bag by becoming the undisputed champion by 24, 25, after already having won a world championship at a weight class below. You know, for me, it's not about what the opponents draw. It's about what you're setting up your fighter to become, the kind of draw you're setting up your fighter to become by making him accomplish these feats at such a young age.
Paulie, but what if they believe in him just that much? They just think that, you know, he's bigger than a Roger Gutierrez or an Nagawa, and maybe Lomachenko makes more sense, you know, whether it's at 30 or 35.
First of all, they're not going to make the Lomachenko fight. Everybody's brave when they talk about Lomachenko. And nobody actually goes and fights Lomachenko. So I'm not to believe in Lomachenko until Lomachenko probably ages another year or two. Nobody's going to be brave to fight Lomachenko. Everybody talks Lomachenko like this. When it comes to doing this with Lomachenko, nobody does it. You know, you got to get talked into it. You got to fight. But everybody talks Lomachenko, though. But I tell you what, in terms of...
How does that fight play out, though?
Right now, I don't think he's ready for it. And I think he's a good fighter, but I don't think he beats Lomachenko.
Shakur Stevens.
Yeah, but I think there will be a time where he's ready for it. I think that, you know, there's that time where it's like this, you know. And
I think he's ready.
Yeah.
I think he's ready to fight
it's
anybody.
12 rounds
but it's
with him.
50-50. Like, you know, you don't want to put your 24-year-old in a 50-50
But
when
why
you need to
not,
right now.
Paul? I mean,
Okay,
like,
here's the thing. Everybody thought Meldrick Taylor was ready too. Okay, and by 27 years old, he was out of boxing. You know what I mean? That's why. That's why. Because you got these phenoms, and why is there a need to burn them out when you can sort of build up their resume, build up their reputation, turn them into being a monster draw because they are so talented. They are such superstar. There is such superstar potential there. Why do you have to shoot at such a young age and risk burning them out, taking the punishment, burning them out, possibly getting them beat or whatever else, when they're still accomplishing all these great feats little by little by little? I mean, at the end of the day, did anybody, you guys talk about Nagawa and all these other guys, did anybody actually think Oscar Valdez was going to win more than 2 rounds in the fight? No. So what are we talking about with, what's Nagawa going to draw? What's this going to draw? What was Oscar Valdez ever going to win in that fight? Let's face it. I mean, nobody ever thought Oscar Valdez.
But he brought a fan base.
He brought the fan base, Paulie.
And Nagawa, you know, we might not think Nagawa's going to win or Gutierrez.
We know what else brings the fan base? Becoming undisputed champion brings the fan base. You know, you're creating a product. Shakur becomes a bigger product by having become the undisputed world champion while already having won a world championship at 126. So you got 24, 25-year-old who's a two-weight world champion, undisputed in one weight class. Now he's his own product. Doesn't matter who he fights. Doesn't matter who he fights because he's his own product. He dictates everything. And as his promoter, you dictate everything. So why rush the kid? Why?
When did it change?
Paulie, but...
Hold on. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying if Teofimo was ready at 23...
Was he ready? He was ready. He was great. But then look what happened.
He won.
Mentally, he just shut off and he got beat by Kambosos.
I mean...
He was ready.
You know, some people are just built different. But at the end of the day, if Teo is 23... less experience.
Listen, man.
And Shakur is more proven, more
got beat by
experienced.
Kambosos, a fighter where he was a 6-1 favorite, and he got beat by Kambosos.
People are built different, Paulie.
No, what's built different? 2 things in boxing that people keep trying to duplicate. They keep trying to duplicate the Overs O monster fight since the Ali Frazier fight. That started the Overs O. Before Ali Frazier, the Overs O wasn't a big deal. Ever since Ali Frazier, everybody makes a big deal about the O, and then people complain about why people don't want to lose the O, and then we got to make the O versus the O, and all that. Ever since, that's been 51 years now, okay? Ruined boxing. Great fight, but ruined boxing, ruined the perception of boxing. The other thing people are not trying to do, they all want the next Floyd Mayweather, because Mayweather actually was 21 years old, beating phenoms, one after another after another. There's one Floyd Mayweather, there's one Ali versus Frazier. That's it. Stop trying to copy it. Let things play out. Because before you had a Mayweather, you had ruined a Meldrick Taylor, like I said. So you got to take the good with the bad, use the strategy that you know works. Develop a fighter, build the star power. Shakur has it all. Why not let him win the undisputed title? It's a nice accomplishment. Why not
was
let him
it
do
different
that?
for Lomachenko for you? Is it simply because he started at a different age?
Yeah, 400, and also you got to move faster, yeah. But 400 amateur fights, I mean, he was this, you know, he was basically a pro as an amateur. You know what I mean?
Now for Shakur, do you think that he wants that fight? Because he is saying that, you know, if he can't get undisputed, he'll fight Loma.
I think Shakur would fight anybody himself. I think Shakur is that age where you're so confident in when you're as good as he is, you're almost in denial about who you are or aren't. And I think Shakur is more who he is than who he isn't at this point. He is more. He isn't very whatever he doesn't have is very little. I mean, but I think he can develop more psychologically and as a man, as an individual, and which transcends more into turning him into a more mature fighter.
What is the fight?
Let him become the undisputed champion, bro. Let him become the undisputed champion.
But if your promoters don't financially see the
then you want to rush him. That's
no. I'm not saying
they might want to rush him. What are you gonna do? He may not get beat, but I'm just saying I think it would be a nice feather in his hat to win the undisputed title by 25 years old. Be a two-way world champion.
So as a fighter,
if he doesn't, then what can you? Okay, what can you make? Let's say you don't make it. No, Ness. Let's say you don't make the undisputed title fights because they don't draw, they don't sell. Okay, what do you make them with? It's not like you can make fights with the other across the street with the other promoters. You already know you had this problem.
But is he not big enough?
Then what are you gonna do? You're gonna make like Terrence Crawford, who's complaining about Bob Arum, but 3 years ago he re-signed with him when he could have signed with PBC and fought all the welterweights. First you re-sign with him for 3 more years, and then after you don't get the fights, you want to sue him too. You know what I mean? No, that's not how it works, bro. You already know how this works. So if you don't go for the undisputed title, what can Bob get you based on the criteria of what's around? You know what I mean? Can he get you Gervonta? No. Can he get you Lomachenko? Possibly.
Why not?
He can make Gervonta.
He's a free agent.
If he can get you Gervonta, they would have made Crawford and Spence. Bro.
No, he's a free agent now.
He's a free agent after this fight who's expressed his displeasure with Mayweather Promotions. And who
everybody's got a lot of displeasure lately. There's a lot of displeasure lately in boxing.
Made it clear to shop himself around. But Paulie, he can move up Navarrete from 26 to 30. Navarrete's a fucking 7 foot Mexican that I don't know where they found him at. Fucking the pyramids and shit. He was at the top fixing, helping put it together.
Yeah.
Bro, Navarrete and Shakur at 30, to me, that does great business. I think it.
So let Navarrete move up and beat Nagawa or something. And then make it for a title fight.
Okay.
Set that up. Build it. Build it. Come on. Give me something.
But in the meantime, what does Shakur do while Navarrete is getting a title at 30?
Wait. I don't know, bro.
See, that's why Colbert, we needed that Colbert fight.
Yeah. But again, Colbert was at PBC.
That's still tough. Exactly.
The same complication.
But I think that Shakur is a big enough, I don't want to say superstar, but he's a big enough star in boxing that I think that the higher-ups at PBC would have understood what that fight meant for Colbert. Especially if had he not lost, Colbert would have become the position of Roger Gutierrez.
I think they wanted to put Colbert with Gervonta, so they wouldn't have put him in with Shakur. They would have wanted to say if he would have stayed undefeated, they wanted to save him for a big Gervonta fight.
Have you guys seen who he's calling out? Like
who? Colbert?
Gary Russell.
Yeah.
He's saying, come on, let's do this. We're both coming off a loss. Let's do it for the fans. This is not me clout chasing.
They're both East Coast guys.
They're both with PBC.
It's possible, yeah.
The thing is, though, Gary would be moving up, and he does have a shoulder injury off of that.
Did he have a surgery already?
I don't know if he had surgery or if he needed, but definitely in that.
I think I saw a post of his where he was in the hospital. I think he might have got surgery. Don't quote me, but I think I did see a post.
Had he not needed any serious surgery, what do you guys think about that matchup? Colbert coming off a loss, Gary coming off a loss. What do you think, Jose?
Man, I'm just listening to you guys here. Everybody has a different opinion. You
got to give yours.
No. That's I'm
Shoot
just listening. What I think. With going back to the fight with Shakur, fuck, man, he's unbelievable. He's good IQ. His talent is great. Why not let him go and fight whoever he wants to fight and try to see where he's at? I think he's just gonna get better. We don't know.
But you got to be devil's advocate. Then he said Meldrick Taylor.
Listen, I'll tell you something.
Fernando Vargas.
I'll tell you something, man. When these guys are motivated, why take the motivation away by stopping them? They gotta stay active, and keep learning and getting.
But as the trainer, they give you that title. You're supposed to protect him from himself.
You're motivated to drive a car at 15 years old, but they don't let you.
Yeah, but still, you gotta understand. You gotta see where they're at and the sparring and the fights, how they look. How he looked really good. Why stop him? Get him somebody a little bit harder and keep building them and keep him motivated.
How important would a win over Lomachenko this year be for him? What does it do for him?
If I had Shakur, I would fucking do that fight.
But what does it do in your opinion? If he beats Lomachenko this year, what does it do for his career?
A lot. He will gain a lot of fans.
Can he get Lomachenko this year? Or is he out?
I think he can beat him.
Leave the military?
I think he can beat him.
Is he going to leave the military? Lomachenko's in the middle of Ukraine.
I know he's.
I don't even know if you can make that fight realistic.
That would be a fight.
I thought he was. Actually, I thought he went to.
Nope, he's still in the Ukraine.
But just in case, if he was back, man, that fight would be a good fight. I would pay to see that fight. It would be a very interesting fight and a very exciting fight. Why not? I think Shakur could beat him.
So the other thing that Bob mentioned was Devin Haney, Kambosos winner. Is that too soon in your opinion?
Not necessarily, but isn't there a
weight difference
rematch clause or something like that if Haney wins though?
There is, but
so
he still.
If Kambosos wins,
mentioned it.
So if Kambosos wins, then it wouldn't be a rematch, and then he could go right into the Shakur fight.
Guys, I know
that's more doable.
I know we have to get David Benavidez on. So Jose, we do appreciate it. We will get him. Hopefully
thank you guys.
back on.
Thank you so much, guys, for the invite. Hey,
Jose was dying to get out of here.
Hey, before I leave, I want to give a big shout out to Patrick, man. 5 stars, man, for letting us stay here at this beautiful house, man. We're about to leave Sunday, and thank you so much, man. It was great to be here.
All right.
5stars.tv.
All right. And now we're joined with the former 2-time super middleweight champion of the world.
What's up, champ?
El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez. What's up, champ? How are you?
Chilling, man. Chilling. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're good, man. Sorry to have woken you up and all this racket in your house, man. I know you're winding down camp, so we understand that things get a little more, you tighten up, and instead you got a lot of people in your house right now, man. So how are you dealing with all this noise and racket?
I was feeling good. It's just that, with the WBC, you got 14-day weight cut, 7-day weight cut, and today I had the 14. I was supposed to be at 176. I got to 173, so
oh wow.
I didn't drink. You have to go one day. You have to cut the water out, and I didn't drink too much water last night. But luckily I just sweat everything out, and I got to 173. So that's why I was a little grumpy when I seen you, especially when I heard you guys yelling. But no, but we all good, man. We all good.
For sure, man. So we're just here talking. Obviously, Canelo's going to be fighting tomorrow. And before we get into that, I just want to thank you personally for that promotional video that you did for tomorrow's fight and just for what we're doing. Everybody's just asking us questions like, how'd you get him to do that? How'd you get him to do that? Your own father was telling my producer, like, I don't know what you told him. How'd he do that? So when these guys came up to you and asked you to basically act, what was your first impression?
I mean, I just feel really grateful for the fight star. Patrick, he let me be in this house for about 4 months. Living in a mansion for 4 months, he didn't ask me to pay anything at all. So I was here to do whatever you guys wanted me to do, and it was something different, some acting, some different stuff. It was a cool little skit, so it wasn't too much. Especially, I don't think a 30-second video is not too much to ask to stay in a mansion for 4 months. So I had to pay my debt.
Oh, man. Shout out to you, man. That shows that you're a stand-up guy. But what were some of the comments like when you posted it? Because when we posted, everything was so positive. Like people just couldn't believe that you were open to doing something so wild. So what were some of the comments, or one of the weirdest ones maybe you read, or the funniest one?
To be honest, I was really impressed too, because there was a lot of positive comments. Usually I just get a whole bunch of bullshit on my comments, and I'll be getting mad. I'll be trying to argue with people and shit, and I send the direct messages and I'll be talking shit. But it was a lot of positive energy, and
that's what's up.
Yeah,
man. Definitely appreciative for you doing that. So getting into the fight, I'm trying to find a way to have the casual fan that's watching this and that's going to be watching the Canelo fight understand that Bivol should be more dangerous than a Kovalev or even a Gennady in certain aspects because of his youth, his hunger. He's never been defeated. He's a champion. Do you see it that way?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, I'm not going to say a really tough fight. I've sparred Bivol personally, so I know his weaknesses. But I do know his strengths too. He has a really good right hand. He moves around really good around the ring. But once you get in, you cut the distance. You use head movement to cut the distance, and you throw body shots and combinations, uppercuts, and that's really what Canelo does. But I feel like you can't take nothing away. You can't, basically predict anything because of that, because he has, this is a big legacy fight for Bivol as well. He has a lot of a big amateur career. He's fought some good fights. He's fought some hard hitters. He's fought Joe Smith. He's fought John Pascal. He's fought a couple other strong guys too. So, I mean, he's in there trying to make history for himself too, and he has a whole country on his back. So, his motivation is probably somewhere else right now. He's probably really motivated for this fight too. I mean, I don't think it's going to be easy for either fighter, but it's going to be a good fight.
Do you find yourself more excited maybe than us because you've sparred Bivol and you know exactly what he can do, and maybe you're expecting something, or no?
I feel like the only chance that Bivol has is to land a good right hand and move around the ring. He keeps the distance good. He doesn't really have too much of a good jab, but he has a solid right hand. So I feel like if he catches Canelo with the good right hand and he sets it up good, he can I think he can maybe hurt Canelo, but we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Not put him down?
I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see.
I mean, you felt that power. Is it enough? You're naturally a bigger man. I mean, you started in the 200, so you can absorb more than the average man, but you still know how that shit felt.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't catch me with like clean right hand, but I felt his power. But I'm saying they could probably, Canelo's been there. He has a lot of experience. He's been in there with some hard fighters too, but I know we're just going to have to wait and see.
What are you asking? If a shot lands on the button, then the guy goes down. So the guy can't go down. I mean, that's a hypothetical question. Can he go down? Yeah, if he lands on the button, maybe Canelo can go down. If Canelo hits him with a big hook, maybe Bivol can go down. I mean, these are hypothetical questions that you ask about fights, but there's no yes or no answer. I mean,
I don't know. We were arguing that earlier, right? Like you said, on the button, you're supposed to go down, but Mosley hit Floyd on the button, and he didn't go down.
But you know what? Then depends on how you react. Do you hold on? Do you hold on for dear life and survive? Do you get knocked down with the follow-up?
But
there's a lot. The fight evolves.
That's the answer that I was looking for him. As a guy that took Bivol's punch, maybe he's like, yo, he's got solid power, but I don't think it'll drop Canelo. It might shock him, wake him up, but they don't got knockout or knockdown power.
You got to still see about it. They got 10-ounce gloves on,
I was just going to say it. They got 10-ounce gloves. You was reading my mind just now. I was going next.
But if he lands a good shot, if he lands a flush right hand like that, I feel like he can put him down.
And vice versa. I mean, we saw Canelo drop Kovalev with one hook, right? So, I mean,
do you expect that? You think Canelo still, because again, there's fight fans. I'm not going to say fighters. You guys are a little more educated and respectful, right? Fight fans, we're like, Kovalev was old. Canelo's supposed to knock him down or knock him out.
I think he got knocked down. I think if he's younger, he gets up. I don't think that was a one-punch knockout necessarily, but I think when Kovalev went down, he's like, man, screw this. I don't need this in my life. But I feel like that shot knocked him down. I mean, if the shot was a good shot.
I feel like a younger Kovalev would have been a completely different fight. If you watch his old fights, I was a big Kovalev fan too. The Kovalev from back then was a killer. He had a great jab and a great right hand and great combinations, and that's not the one that you seen that fought Canelo. It looked like he was just keeping him a distance, pity patting with the jab, and he looked like he was just trying to survive until the 12th round.
A lot of people, I think, Paulie, did you say you had Kovalev up?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people had Kovalev up.
The judges didn't, though.
I know in the last fight, BT's commentary team had Caleb Plant up at the point of the stoppage in that fight. Do you think that maybe Canelo, with some of these bigger guys, is kind of banking to get him tired and hopefully get a late stoppage, and that could maybe hurt him tomorrow? Or do you not think that's the case? That's just the way the fight plays out. David?
Well, I feel like the type of fighter Bivol is, he's definitely going to try to get some rounds in early. He uses a ring a lot. He boxes really good. But I feel like Canelo, he's more comfortable in the deep waters. He's a second half type of fighter. I don't think he doesn't try to win the fight on points. Every round he's in there, I think he's trying to hurt the fighter and try to knock him out. But I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, I feel like with Bivol, he's going to have to try to win every single round as much as possible. And I don't think he could wait, to give any rounds up at all. I feel like his plan is he has to he has to put everything in every single round. And if he doesn't try to knock Canelo out, then he has to outbox him. And I feel like it's going to be a really good fight.
I think David makes a good point. I think Canelo is a second half fighter more. So, and there's a lot of variables and reasons for that. He's fine in the first half of the fight. It's not like he's useless in the first half of the fight, but in the second half of the fight, I feel like there's a lot of things that are coming into play. I think his opponents are always emotionally more charged up. It's a bigger moment for them. This, again, going back to the spectacle of the moment, there's a little bit of more of emotional tightness. He's in this kind of moment every single fight. The opponent is in a moment that they've never seen before, probably will never see again. So regardless of the result of the fight, it's just Canelo is that kind of star, right? So I think that the tenseness of the moment, then they may feel like they're working harder than they actually are because of the emotion of the moment. By the time they get to the second half of the fight, I feel like they're a little bit more spent than is Canelo, you know, and so it allows Canelo to go into that extra gear. And by that point, he's also sort of got their timing down. He's also kind of computer chipped everything in his head, you know, and he's sort of got his distances and measurements, and he sort of got your patterns down to where he starts making you pay. So for all those reasons, I think Canelo, David makes a good point. He's a second half fighter because he knows how to sort of work his way through the fight in that way, like a veteran champion.
And then what the thing about Bivol too, when I said that he has to put everything in there every single round, I mean that he has to try to hurt Canelo every single round, because if he doesn't get Canelo's respect, Canelo is just gonna walk him down, just like I did Caleb Plant.
Yep.
And I feel like with somebody like with me, that would be my game plan too. I'm trying to, you know, I'll have to make him respect my power, and that's what Bivol has to do too. Because as you see, once Canelo starts to warm up, he starts to walk down. He starts to walk everybody down. And if you don't have nothing to offer and he's not scared of nothing, he's gonna keep walking you down and keep cutting the ring off till the end of the fight.
But it's not that easy, right, David? Because obviously Canelo is a phenomenal counter puncher. He's known for that, and I feel like he's known very well for his timing. He's able to time fighters a lot of the time too. So coming in, you got to be careful in doing so, right? What do you think is the best way for Bivol to not allow Canelo to come in? Just the jab?
Well, yeah, the jab. I mean, he has the right weapon to do it too. He has a really good right hand. You know, he has to keep the distance with the jab, and as soon as Canelo comes in, he'll probably take a step back, throw right hand. But the thing about the Bivol is that, you know, he's not really too good of an inside puncher like that. And every fight I see him in, you know, he's just basically looking for the right hand. But I mean, that's why you have the training camps. You know, that's why you have to work on stuff that you watch film, and maybe you have to work on different stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what he has to offer.
But again, that's another good point David made, though. You know, you got to try to hurt Canelo. I feel like the last two opponents, they were sort of in there just to be in there. I've seen Caleb fight better. I've seen Billy Joe settle in his distances a little better in the past. Again, I think it was a spectacle of the moment, the pressure of fighting Canelo, and then, of course, just knowing that Canelo can't hurt them. But I never thought Caleb threw anything with any mean intentions the whole fight. It was crazy. You know what I mean? I felt he was playing a catch and shoot and pity patting and trying to really play that technical, walk that tightrope of technicality, where sometimes you've just got to punch him in his mouth. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I wasn't a big puncher, but at certain points in the fight, I dug in and punched you in the mouth just to make sure, okay, you know, we're in a fight here, we're live. Like, those little touches, they can be frustrating, but you got to eventually put something on him, because, as he said, he just gets real confident, starts walking you down, and we saw Canelo do that. I mean, he was basically walking Caleb down like it was nothing at a certain point, because he's going to lose all respect for you. And then that emotional pressure that you've been feeling, you're going to feel it even more now, because now you're already in the emotion of the moment. Now you're like, oh, man, this guy won't get off me. What am I going to do, man? You know what I mean? And like, it tires you. It fatigues you, man.
The anxiety. You know? Listen, I know, David, you're pressed for time, so I got a few questions from the people. Dual Ingram's asked a wonderful question, especially since Canelo has been talking all week about possibly fighting Usyk at 201. Dual Ingram in Compton says, if Usyk brought a Canelo type of payday, are you willing to take that fight at 201?
I mean, I'll definitely take a fight with Usyk. I'll definitely take a fight with Beterbiev, Joe Smith, and all those guys. But, I mean, it's not possible, honestly. I don't think nobody's going to come to me and try to fight, give me the chance to fight, you know, them, especially if Canelo's in the picture. And I'm just being realistic. You know, I feel like Canelo's doing the same thing. He'll fight everybody if he got the opportunity. But since Canelo's there, they're giving him the opportunity before everybody else.
David Maldonado, New York City, he says, who you think wins, Edgar Berlanga versus Gabe Rosado? I pick Gabe Rosado because he's dedicated to the sport, unlike Berlanga, in my opinion.
I mean, I wouldn't say anything about Edgar Berlanga's dedication because I don't know him and I've never heard anything about him. But I feel like it would be a great fight. I feel like that could be a really big fight that could be made. You know, Gabe Rosado, he's always a warrior. He always comes to fight. He always shocks the crowd sometimes. So why not? It would be a great fight. I'll definitely watch it myself.
Ruin a 504 New Orleans says, where would you like your career to be this time next year?
I just want to make the big fights that are possible to happen on my side. I feel like Canelo, you know, I'm not going to say he's ducking, but he's going separate routes and he's going to get another fight. So I feel like I would want to get a fight in with Caleb Plant, Charlo, and Andrade. I feel like those are 3 big fights that are actually possible to make happen by next year.
La Dura Claudio says, how has fatherhood been, and do you want more children?
Yeah, it's been amazing, man. It's every time I see my son, especially now since he boxes too. You know, he trains every day. He hits the pads and stuff. It's definitely gave me a lot more motivation to go in there, especially when I'm tired and I don't want to run no more. And I just tell myself, you know, your son is at home. You know, he wants to be just like you. So I got to set the example. I got to be a role model, and it gives me the motivation to go the extra mile and those extra rounds. And yeah, I definitely want more kids. I feel like 2 more. I want a girl and then another boy, and I feel like that'll be enough for me.
Nice. James Valdez in San Antonio says, who taught you to grill, and what's your favorite food to cook up?
I don't know how to grill. Where did they get that from?
Maybe because they heard your father was going to be grilling. Before we hired a caterer, your father was going to be grilling tomorrow.
No, I want to learn how to grill. That's a skill I definitely need, but no, I don't know how to grill yet.
All right, we got Q who says, who do you think the 168-pound division would look like if there was no Canelo? Yeah, all under the same banner. Do you think you, Plant, Charlo would have fought each other by now if there was no Canelo?
Yeah, I definitely feel like we would fight each other and I'd beat all those guys. I feel like I stop all of them. And the only reason why they don't want to, well, before Caleb fought Canelo, he didn't want to fight me because he didn't want to put that payday in jeopardy. And I feel like Charlo too. I don't feel like Charlo would even, he won't get the opportunity to fight Canelo, but he's still hoping that there is. So I don't think he wants to put that in jeopardy either. But as like I'm saying, I don't think the fight with me and Canelo might happen for a little bit longer. But for me, I'm really confident that I could beat all these other guys. So I would take all these other guys way before I even take on Canelo. And it would give me more experience. And I'd feel like beating these guys would give me the star power to even be up there and actually be a pay-per-view star.
And if anything, Canelo's only getting older.
Yeah,
and it's not the same situation with Golovkin where he can kind of smoke him out. Like that, in this situation, it's David's advantage. He's the younger guy.
He's the younger man.
So you got to actually you got to show that you're gonna just avoid him flat out. If you're not gonna, otherwise you're gonna end up having a disadvantage because he's gonna mature more in the next couple of years and get even better. While Canelo is gonna start actually going over that age where you get a little bit worse.
25?
Yeah, 25.
Wow. I mean, you'll be your best 27.
That's crazy to think that you're 25. And we were just talking how Paulie thinks Shakur, who's 24, is too young, or rather, you didn't use the word young, but he just said it's too soon to go into a Loma fight. You're 25 and people are throwing you at Canelo, like, go get him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have enough experience now. When I was 23, I was like, man, maybe I need a couple more fights, but I feel like I'm ready, man. I've been here. I'm a professional 9 years already. This is going to be
a year is a big difference.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go. This is gonna be my 3rd time fighting for the WBC, and it's an interim title, but it's basically
a year ago. Were they talking about him with Canelo? Now everybody wants to see the fight. You know what I mean? A year is a big difference at this age.
Yeah, and then just being in the ring, fighting multiple fights. I mean, it felt like now the fights are getting harder. The dudes are hitting even harder too. So I've matured a lot in that sense. I mean, I've been through a lot of highs and lows and. All that's experience. I always say the best teacher in life is experience, and I've experienced it all. So now I feel like it's the best time. I'm ready, mentally and physically, so I'm ready to make everything happen.
We got Jazz that says, did you hurt Bivol to the body when you sparred him? Do you think he is weak to the body?
I feel like with those European guys, they're not weak to the body, but they're more susceptible to get hit to the body. But I know I got them with the good combination. I feel like when you do... Well, with me, they really expect me to throw so much combinations like that, and I did hurt him with a good combination.
So you basically answered this. We'll just read his question for a shout-out. Christopher Riley says, if Canelo doesn't return to 168 after the Bivol fight, would you be open to facing Charlo, David Morrell, or facing Caleb Plant? You pretty much said you'll fight anybody.
Yeah, I'd face all those guys. And even with me now too, I feel like if none of those fights they're not gonna get made, man. The reason why these fights are made, it's not because of me, it's because those guys over there on that side, they try to talk that big game, act like they're not scared of nobody. When it's time to make the fight happen, why isn't that not happening? I've been very vocal that saying that I would accept any of those fights, and like Charlo and all them guys, they try to make it seem like they make the most money ever. If you want to make money, I'm the biggest guy besides Canelo to make a fight happen.
Well, what'd you make of them calling you broke ringside at the fight?
I don't care about any of that. That's not even relevant when it comes to boxing. You know, you could be broke and be a great boxer, but I'm not broke. You know what I mean? So it's just like they just like to talk a lot of shit, saying a whole bunch of shit that doesn't mean nothing. When I was there, you know, Charlo was talking shit to my dad, and I came from the other side, and I pushed his shoulder back. And when I did that, he fucking flies behind his security guards, and then he starts to grow some balls. Like, if you know you really wanted a problem, really wanted to prove something, I was right there in front of you. You let me touch you, and you ain't do nothing. You have to fucking grow some balls right when you get in front behind your security guards. So like that don't mean it's just a whole day. I don't like those guys at all, you know, and then. You know, that's really a fight that I do want to get made in the future. And I feel like it could potentially be a really big fight. I would definitely be down to go to the Cowboy Stadium and fight them there because I feel like I got more fans than they do in their own city.
No. So I mean, obviously Dallas, but like, so if Al calls you like, yo, we could do it, but they want it in Houston, his hometown.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just in Houston.
Oh, no, it was Dallas.
Oh, that was Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, it don't matter, bro. I got a big supporting everywhere, especially, you know, the Mexican people, you know, we're everywhere too. And, you know, they support me a lot. That's why I feel like so comfortable. That's why when I go out to places, I'm there shaking people's hand. I'm taking even more time to make sure I take pictures of everybody because, you know, people that support you, they want to see that you're actually out there, you know, you know, mingling with the people, you know, taking pictures with people, and they really do support me, and I feel comfortable everywhere I go. No matter if it's California, New York, Texas, Miami, you know, Seattle, I feel like everywhere is home for me, so it don't matter where I fight.
Cisco Promotion says, with your experience in sparring, do you see this weekend's fight going to the scorecards?
I feel like both those men, they have a lot to prove, and they're both going to be trying to go for the knockout. So I don't think it's going to go to the scorecards.
40 Thief wants to know, are you interested in going to see the new Doctor Strange?
Oh, yeah. I'm saving that until after I'm done fighting, though. I heard that movie's lit. I heard it's really good.
Damn, he wanted us to take you out to go see it. Big Casual says, are you familiar with Carlos Monzon? And if so, do you think with your familiar height, reach, you could learn a little something from him? Most historians have him as top 5 middleweight.
I know his name. I haven't really seen his footage, especially now. But now, since you brought it up and they say that I might have some similarities, I'll definitely look him up and do some and try to study him a little bit. That's the thing about it too. I love boxing, man, and when I'm not training, the only thing I do is watch boxing, and especially the old fighters. I feel like the old fighters are cut from a different type of cloth, and I definitely do love studying them and seeing what they got to offer. 2 more, champ. We got Brandon in Houston that says, even if you win the WBC interim, I think a fight with Zurdo Ramirez is one you should push for next. He isn't really fighting anyone, doesn't have opponents. They should be willing to accept your fight. Yeah, that's what I've been saying too. I did some interviews about that, and he's my boy. You know, I love Zurdo. I've been working with him for a long time. But I feel like in the place that we're at in our careers, I need him and he needs me to elevate, to go to the next level, basically. And then ain't no bad blood. And you know, I feel like people got it messed up now that they feel like if you guys fight each other, there has to be some beef or some bad blood. We're just fighters. This is what we love to do, and if we could help each other get to the next level, then let's do it. I mean, may the best man win.
Last one, New York Bullet. What's good, champ? If you had a chance to fight any legend of your choice to match your skills against, who would you choose? Blessing.
That's a hard one. I don't know. I mean, all the legends, I would definitely love to share the ring with any of the legends. Joe Kawasaki, James Toney.
Whoa!
Roy Jones.
Wait. You know the man next to you says fucking Kawasaki is a.
Don't overdo it. Don't exaggerate.
You fucking tell
I said
him.
he's a great fighter. I just thought he gets too much credit because if he
You
could have fought better.
You say he is overrated.
Yeah, because the people think he put him on the same pedestal as Mayweather. He could have fought a lot better opposition, bro. Again, don't get me back on the Taco Pud Wills, Mario Vates of the world, bro. Again, because we're gonna have the same discussion.
David, what you think about that?
My problem with Calzaghe is I think he had the potential to be even better, to live up to everything, and he chose not to fight certain guys.
David, I got to tell you this, right? So the reason that this is a thing for me is because
for me, as a fan, I thought he could have beat certain guys, but I wanted to see him believe he could have beat certain guys by fighting them.
So he put Roy Jones and Bernard Hopkins in his Paulie Malignaggi's all-time great category, but then puts Calzaghe, our guy, as an overrated guy. And I'm like, bro, he beat both of them. How do you got them up there and him down here?
He's still up there at that level, but he's not on their level. I don't care if he has the wins over them, bro. He's not at that level.
I feel like in Kawasaki in his prime, I don't think he would beat Roy Jones in his prime or Hopkins in his prime, but you still got to give a lot of respect to him. Everybody has their own perspective, but I mean, I as me being a fighter, I know how hard it is to win championships, and you know he had a couple championships. And did he unify?
No, he's a terrific fighter. He unified with Kessler, right?
He won Kessler. Yeah, and then he retired undefeated. So that's not easy to do. And just for that, I have a lot of respect for him.
I think Calzaghe was a very good fighter. I personally thought he could have won some of the fights that he didn't fight, but that's what used to frustrate me about him, and that's why I say the things I say. You know, I mean, I would have loved to. Why did I have to miss out on seeing some of those fights? You know what I mean? Why did I have to miss out on Calzaghe and Frock? You know what I mean? Why did I have to miss out on certain things like that?
That would have been a good fight.
You know what I mean? They're both from England. You know what I mean? So, you know, like, why did I have to not see those fights? You know, why did you fight Mario Vate twice, who's from Germany, but not Arthur Abraham? You know what I mean? Who I thought he would have beat too. You know what I mean? Like, what's the reason for this? You know what I mean? That's my frustration there. And that's why I say, okay, hard to put him on that same list with some of those guys.
Well, David, those are all our questions for you. But, Paulie, I never want you to feel like it's about just one fighter. We got a whole page just for you, too. So while we transition from...
Don't get me started, bro, because you know my answers
remember
don't stop.
before you even bring that up, I remember when Paulie Malignaggi first came on the scene. I'm like, oh, they brought him as like the next Prince. He used to wear the headband. Yeah. And he used to have his hair up, and I'm like, damn, I want to get my hair like that. It just didn't look right on me. But I remember watching him a long, long time ago. I used to live at my grandma's house. Me and my dad and my brother lived at my mom's mom's house, my grandma. So it was a lot of good times watching him on Showbox and stuff. I even sparred this guy when I was 14 or 13. Big old ball. I sparred him.
In LA.
In Hollywood.
How many rounds?
He would go like 6.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
what round? What year was this?
I weighed like 230 pounds at the time.
So you were just working with him?
Yeah, we were working. Yeah. I mean, he was capable.
It was a long time ago.
230. That's
I was like 13 years old.
But we were. I was like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
I lived out there from end of 2010 to early 2013. So.
Do you remember everybody you sparred?
Not everybody, no, but you know certain.
But you remember David?
Certain people you remember, you know. But he already had a famous family because you know his brother Jose was really a hot name at that time.
But did anything stick out back then?
No, honestly, I can't tell you that I looked at him and said he was going to be a world champion. But then again, Andy Ruiz was in the gym at that time too, and you know I wasn't like looking at him and both. I said both guys were capable, but at that age, you know, with that body, you don't think like you don't see that as a world champion. You just look, but you don't even think about that. You don't think whether he is or he isn't. You just think like, oh, you know, that kid wasn't bad, nice kid. It was
just funny though because I remember my dad and my brother. They're like, oh, you got to come out here. And that's when I had gained like 120 pounds. And then they would talk me up. Because at the time, I was 13 and I've been boxing since I was 3. So I had 10 years experience training every day. But I didn't box the year when my brother went to, he started training at Wild Card. So I went from 180 to like 240 in like a year. And then I ended up moving over there. And then everybody was like, this is the fucking kid that you've been talking that's better than your brother. Like, this is the fucking ball you guys been talking about. Like, who the fuck is this? Like, what is this? And then that would piss me off too. That I feel like that just alone having that happen to me is what gave me like the reason why I fight like how I do today. Why I want to go in there and stop everybody because nobody respected me. And everybody here, when I'd get in the ring at Wild Card, like, this fucking for this.
But that's what my co-host was talking about. He was telling Paulie, not everybody's built the same because, you know, especially in this generation, I'm gonna get Paulie into politics. You know that some kids would say they're being bullied. You took that and you turned it into motivation. Like, you want to call me fat? I'm going to fucking work out. And now you're the Mexican monster.
Yeah.
How's that make you feel, man? I got to ask about that before you go. How's that make, because has things changed once Mike Tyson labeled you the Mexican monster?
No, it's not a label. He baptized him. He got baptized the Mexican monster.
No, I mean, what happens on social media and stuff like that, it doesn't change anything about my real personal life. It definitely gives me more motivation, especially because Mike Tyson, I would never expected Mike Tyson to, when I met him, he was really nice, and then he kept talking me up, and he didn't have no reason to do that. So it just seeing him, Julio Cesar Chavez, and a lot of other great fighters, you know, give me the respect that I really wanted.
And that's when you know you're making it. When the guys you looked up to, you meet them and they know who you are.
Yeah,
you know, like
and that really motivates me a lot.
That's when you know you're like, I'm doing something right. You know, like, I used to look up to these guys. Now they meet me and know who I am.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you feel good about all the work.
So that's
you did.
the only thing that's changed really from just like having them know me in my head. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Like I'm really on the right path. But as of anything, none of my life don't change at all. You know, and I like it like that. I live in real life. I'm not living on the social media and stuff like that. I don't really have too much friends, and you know, the guys I train with, these are my friends right here, is my family, and other than that, I don't go out, I don't do anything. I just boxing and then go back home to my family.
For sure. Well, listen, man, you're going to have to get up and walk away because we will keep asking you questions. You know how it is. But I got some for Paulie here. Paulie, I got David Maldonado in your home state, New York City. He says, what's up? I snuck in 2 questions for you.
Hold on. Before you do that, I gotta
make a transition.
I gotta welcome one of the hottest fighters right now, making his way through the ranks. Just looked spectacular on pay-per-view, and I'm happy to have lightweight sensation Rayo Jose Valenzuela.
What's up,
Yo,
champ?
this is the kid that knocked out Chapo, right?
Chapo.
Yeah, knocked out Chapo, right?
No. He knocked out Vargas.
Yeah.
Francisco.
Chapo Vargas.
Bandido.
Oh, Bandito.
Yeah.
Bandito.
I was calling him Chapo Vargas, but you... Yo,
You gave him a scarier name.
Right? That overhand shot you hit him with.
Yeah,
That was a shot. Yo, man. Oh, God.
I'm going to be honest. I'm so happy because I'm a very selfish person. I guess I'm narcissistic. I love to be right. So when you let me come here and I got to see you spar, all I could talk about was you. I felt so blessed to watch you spar Joet Gonzalez, right? Because if I see you spar somebody that I don't know, it's not that important. You spar Joet Gonzalez, I know exactly where you're at. I knew right then and there that you were going to do everything that you did, and I just needed you to do it. But then you went and exceeded my expectations by looking spectacular, man. How was it for you? Where would you grade that performance? Were you as happy as everyone else?
It was good for me, man. You know, I think that's exactly what I needed on such a big card. I felt great. I knew I would.
Man.
I knew I would hurt him. I knew I would drop him.
Yeah, what y'all doing?
What are we doing over here? That's out of time. No, I didn't just interrupt him like that.
That was in the back end over there. But sorry about that.
I knew I would, if I hit him with a good shot, would hurt him, you know, because I was looking good in sparring. I was feeling super strong. But I just didn't expect it to come in the first round. You know, I thought, you know, he would keep his hands up.
That was the button.
Yeah, that was the button.
We talked about that.
So you don't get paid for overtime. So you got out of that fight so early. What did you do with all the free time?
I came back and watched the Pitbull fight, and Charlo talk shit to David, and they go back and forth.
So speaking of Pitbull, who's on your horizon now? Because I'm sure the phone is off the hook. I know that the powers that be were happy with that type of performance. Those are the performances that get you back on television.
Yeah.
Like, Paulie, as a commentator, I'm sure you've heard once or twice around the water cooler, like, we want exciting performances on television.
Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, actually, they called me back.
Beautiful.
You know, I had a 2-week break, and then I came right back because I got a fight coming up, and so.
Oh, wow. You know, and I was thinking that to myself. I seen you here today, and I'm like, damn, is he just here? Like, because, you know, you've made it clear that this is your family, and they've accepted you as such. So I'm like, are you just here to support David, keep him, you know, in line in camp, but you're actually right back in camp.
Training, training 3 times a day,
Jesus.
getting ready.
This is like when a fighter says that boxing is their life, like this is your life.
And you seen what we do today? Like we have fun.
No, absolutely, it was fun.
My whole team, they're all like fun.
It was more fun whooping his ass. We won.
Paulie wasn't here for that. Paulie wasn't here for that.
Yo, you know what's funny? I heard you say, yo, we beat everybody and we lose to them.
Yeah.
You lose to the old guy and the fat guy.
Hey, shout out to my teammate Diego Pacheco, man. We're gonna get you guys back.
Diego, he did a Dikembe Mutombo. He blocked me and shit. I was embarrassed as a motherfucker. Like, oh shit.
You were dunking in there though.
Yeah, then you did the Shaq and two-handed.
I tried. Nah, man. But wow, so you're right back in camp. So you can't tell the opponent?
I just, I've been asking for an undefeated guy now, somebody young. The last guy had a lot of experience, but he was a little older. So now, the fans, I see they want me to fight an undefeated fighter, so that's what we're going to get.
Who's undefeated?
There's a lot of good undefeated fighters out there.
Wow.
I think that's the wrong weight class. I might be 5 pounds off. Michel Rivera? That's 5 pounds off.
I seen that facial expression.
That would be a great fight.
His cheeks quivered. Is it Michelle?
Honestly, if it is or isn't, I would love to fight him. If not this fight, the next fight, hopefully. Okay. Or, all these top guys.
What do you think about him? We actually just interviewed Nico Ali Walsh. And, he doesn't mind that Michelle Rivera on air, he said he doesn't mind. Danny is out here wilding.
I think he's a solid fighter. Yeah. I don't think I don't see nothing too special, like too much power, too much speed. Like he just fought Joseph Adorno. He fought a good fight, just using his jab, basic, secured the win, but nothing crazy.
Have you heard of Steven Ortiz?
No, I haven't.
Oh, damn. You know Steven Ortiz from Philly? No, trains with Chino Rivas? 7 fun. No, what? Oh, wow. Lou DiBella? No? Signed with Lou?
Whoa. What about Frank Martin?
Nah, that's too... Right?
Also a good fight.
Yeah, I didn't think he was... that would be backwards for you, I think. You just fought a former world champion. Why would you go back and fight another prospect now?
Yeah, but he's
guys,
still...
If he can't tell us the name, it doesn't matter. You can guess from here till tomorrow. He's not going to tell you. He can't tell you.
We need body language here, Paul.
You can read body like cheeks quivering.
Cheeks quivered.
You guys are going to keep mentioning names.
That Michelle
you guys are going to keep mentioning names as if the conversation's going to go somewhere.
He warmed up with
What are we doing?
He warmed up with the Michelle Rivera. I don't know. But we do have some questions for him from the people. So we'll pull those up since Paulie doesn't like our line of interrogation.
In the meantime,
Paulie was a fighter, so he knows.
In the meantime, I'm just curious. What are your thoughts or expectations for tomorrow night? Obviously, Canelo, Dmitry, Bivol.
I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think Bivol's a solid fighter. Like he dumps, and he has some pop. So, but I think he throws good straight punches from the top to the bottom. We seen Canelo fight taller guys who throw straight punches, and he gets, he slips those punches very easily, like Daniel Jacobs and the other UK fighter at 168 he fought. Right?
Callum Smith?
Callum Smith. So when you hit Canelo with the 1-2 just straight down the middle, he gonna slip that. And I think that's what Bivol probably got, and I don't know if he's gonna.
Were you there for the David and Bivol sparring?
Yeah, I was there.
So because David's like, the sparring, I think he'll give him problems. But Senior's saying, he's like, man, Canelo ain't gonna have no problems.
At the end of the day, it's a fight. I think it's once you're in there, and the other, if he really wants to win, and he's hungry and he's motivated, you got a problem in front of you.
I got David Maldonado in New York City. He says, what really went down between you and Teofimo in sparring? Because I find it hard to believe that Teo used to beat up Ugas, Sean Porter, and even stop Devin Haney in sparring.
I've talked about it before. We sparred. I hit him with a body shot, and he, took a knee. He said he done. He couldn't come back, and that was it. It was the first round.
Damn, first round. Wow. Paulie?
A lot of first round stoppages. You just get it to August too. I don't even tell you.
Y'all. I don't know why people find it so hard to believe. Like it's
a
human
fight.
being too. You get hit in the body like that, you unfold.
La Dura, Claudio says, what is your opinion on female boxing?
I see, it's coming up, so, I'm happy for them, I don't follow too much up on it. I don't really hear enough about it, to be honest. But these last few weekends, I've been hearing about it, so I might have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy this weekend. It was almost an anomaly. 2 undisputed fights in women's boxing on the same card.
Yeah, and I watched it, and it was a great fight.
It was. I didn't think Serrano lost. What about you, Paulie?
It was. I think go either way. I think I thought the decisive rounds were for Serrano, but I felt like Taylor got all the close rounds. Like you could make a case, but you could also make a case for Serrano getting some of those close rounds and giving it to Serrano. So I don't have a problem with either side thinking they won. Would have been nice to just have a draw and do it again, but they went to split.
Yeah, that's how I said. I could have gone either way, but that's good because I think there could be a rematch. Another big fight.
All right. James Valdez in San Antonio, Texas. If it were up to you, who would you like to fight next on your way up the rankings?
Well, these good, all these top guys in my division that are here on PBC, like you said, Michelle Rivera or Frank Meyer.
Dual Ingram and Compton. To be an effective instructor, sometimes I have to plan my year backwards to ensure I hit my goals. I need that. What goals do you have to meet before ending your career?
My career?
Yeah, like what do you want to do before your career is over?
Oh, I want to be one of the best Mexican fighters to ever come out of Mexico.
That's definitely...
Yeah, I'm like, his career just getting started.
Yeah.
Cisco Promotions, your power seems to be real. With that being said, what do you think Rolly's chances are in this tank fight on the scale from 1 to 10?
I mean, Rolly got popped, so you gotta respect it too. I think it's gonna be a great fight. His chances, I mean, it just depends how hard he's working and all that, and if he's able to stay, composed and land the big shot, set it up. I'm not in his camp or follow him like that too much, so I don't know what he's doing, but I think it's gonna be a good fight.
40 Thief says, what city in the U.S. that you've been to has the best Mexican food?
I mean, L.A. and San Diego's fire.
LA
Phoenix got some good mariscos. You like mariscos? Phoenix got good mariscos.
I got Brandon in Houston that says, I just read that Ryan Garcia is in negotiations for a fight in July. I remember Jose Sr., looking at you to see your body language, saying you got a date for July 17th. Do you know anything about that?
Here we go again. The same thing. Again, we're just talking about
It
it.
is the same thing.
I don't know anything about it. I wish though. I mean,
That's cross network, so I highly doubt that.
What would you do to Ryan?
Well, you seen Ryan? He got hit with a real similar left hand by Luke Campbell that I hit.
Yeah, he hit Vargas with the same shot.
Same way, but Campbell's not a puncher. I think if I hit him with that, he's not getting up.
He said he put him to sleep.
What did the both of you think of his last fight with Emmanuel to go?
For the guy that survived. He didn't fight a guy that's trying to win. It's hard to look good against a guy that's trying to win, but it's hard to get a knockout against. I mean, a guy not trying to win. It's hard to get a knockout against a guy that's not trying to win. But I mean, he could have done at least cut off the ring. Could have at least cut off the ring.
Thank you. He made zero fucking attempt to cut the ring off.
He was just circling.
Maybe he doesn't know how to.
Yeah,
it was like
Yo, he got the great Joe Goose in there.
But you guys still got to know how to cut off the ring. If you haven't worked on cutting off the ring in the gym, it doesn't matter if they tell you in the corner to cut off the ring. You're not going to cut it off. You have to know how to do that. Yeah, it's not. You don't. If you cut off the ring the wrong way, you're going to walk into a shot and get knocked out. You know what I mean?
if you're
cutting off the ring is a skill.
If you're being talked about for a fight with Manny Pacquiao,
Gervonta Davis.
And Gervonta Davis fight, I sure would fucking hope you know how to cut a fucking ring
Me
off.
too, but don't shoot the messenger.
I hear you, bro.
So what was he supposed to do? Step to the right, shoot the right, or just shoot the right, then step to the right? How do you cut the distance when a guy's circling out?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, kind of beat them to his step. If he's already going this way, beat him there, use your jab, feint, kind of, see where he's going to.
I would have just liked to see him force Tago to fight the other way. I mean, it looked like Tago went the same way the whole time.
The whole night. He never stopped him.
Even if you cut off the ring, but you don't trap him every time, if you force Tago to go the other way, I don't think Tago is even going to be that comfortable fighting to his right. And he may walk into normal shots. You cut him, you beat him to the step, you take a step to your right. You don't necessarily even have to throw the right hand to the head because he's in full survival mode. So if you step over to your right and cut him off that way and throw his right hand to the head, you might miss it because he's in full survival survival mode. But what you do, you step over to the right, shoot that right hand to the side, so even if it doesn't hurt him, it's pushing him to go that way again. Make him go that way. You know what I mean? And then from there, I'm telling you, you're gonna be able to walk him into more shots because you could easily see he's not comfortable moving to the right. He would just wanted to survive going to the left, and Ryan Garcia kept giving him the out. He kept giving him the out, and so he found
Never
it.
closed it. Last one, Rayo. I know you're pressed for time as well. I just want to thank you guys. I know you're in camp, and we appreciate your time, man.
Absolutely.
Big Casual says, in a perfect world, same question again. 25 fact fans, 20 same questions. In a perfect world, who would you want next after an explosive KO?
Which he already answered.
I said
Frank Martin or?
Michelle Rivera.
There you go. Short list. I want to thank you once again. Please give out your social media for anybody watching who's crazy enough not to be following the KO artist, Rayo Valenzuela.
There you go. You can follow me at Rayo Boxing on Instagram.
All right.
And on Twitter.
Rayo
Thank you,
Boxing.
brother. Who next?
Next, we got the real hard hitting, real exciting, not that good at basketball. Diego Pacheco.
Yo, Pacheco, yo. Body shot. Body shot. Yo, hit him with a body shot. Yeah, I just want to thank you first and foremost for making it the best year ever. I never expected to be a young champion like you. No, I'm fucking with you.
First and foremost, I'd like to start by thanking Al Heyman.
Nah, man, but how are you, man? Thank you again for letting us into your home and your camp and allowing us just to get to know you a little better, man. And thank you for playing ball with us, because definitely
dope.
it's something I'll never forget, man.
That was dope.
You lucky you got us right after we finished our 8-mile run.
Oh, now it's 8. They said they was only going on a 3-mile run. Now it's 8. I'm fucking with them. They didn't say that. I'm a great liar.
Yeah, we had just came off a good morning run, but it was a good game. Honestly, you guys can hoop.
Yo, we got to do it again. We got to do it again.
Yeah, y'all can play.
So is it true? Like, you guys beat everybody in the house?
Yeah, I mean, no one wants to play with us.
What? So David has to guard you because you're the biggest, I'm assuming.
David doesn't really like to play basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why y'all winning. The other big guy doesn't even play.
Yeah, usually it's just honestly me and Raya. We just play one-on-one.
Oh, okay.
We just have fun. You know, we've fucking been here for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Had to figure something out.
But that means you're back in camp too, because you had your fight.
Yeah. I fought March 5th.
Yeah.
Fought March 5th. I took it was like 2-3 weeks off and then came right back to camp.
Right back in camp, man. You miss these guys, huh? You can't stay away.
Honestly, yeah. When I went away, I was like, damn, I even missed Poncho's cooking.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's cool.
Wait,
yeah.
so you got a girl?
No.
Okay, because I was gonna say she didn't like that. You know, you start
My
saying
mom.
you like someone else's cooking. They not liking that.
My mom took it.
Oh, she took it personal.
Yeah.
Mijo, que tú hablas? Yo, man. So do you have a return date, or you're just back staying in the gym just in case?
Yeah, I actually just got my date confirmed
Oh, wow.
last week. Yeah, fighting June 10th in Mexico City.
Okay.
It's gonna be on the Dazn card. I think it's like Canelo Promotions and Matchroom
Okay.
co-promoting.
Yeah.
And they do shows down there, so they put me on there for June, and then it's gonna be
Man, what a
15.
blessing. I mean, do you still consider it a blessing? I mean, because obviously, you know, you can get complacent. You're in the situation with Eddie Hearn, but like to have consistent fights like that for the development of your career has to be wonderful. Especially, I know your story, Paulie, and you've said that you've never had a promoter to put, you know, money and effort behind you. And had they, you would have been a bigger star. And it seems like that's what they're doing with Pacheco from the very beginning. Are you feeling that love and that promotional push?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, and I have close friends, you know, that I grew up boxing with. You know, we're the same age, and you know, they're not in situations like I am. You know, which that shows me like, damn, you know, I'm blessed. You know, it's crazy. You know, but of course, you know, I earned it. You know, I worked hard for it, and I'm thankful that you know I put the work in, and I got to where I am. I'm getting these fights, but at the same time, you know, I gotta still keep working even harder to you know, keep my spot, because there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of boxers in the world who would love to have my spot, and a promotional company would give it to them in a heartbeat. So, you know, you got to stay ready and keep going hard, because, You know, shit ain't promised.
You ain't lying,
Yeah,
man.
definitely true.
But you look so phenomenal in your last fight. Do you feel like what you've been working on with Jose Sr. was not only implemented, but did it show in the fight for your fans?
Yeah, most definitely, bro. You know, coming down here with Jose and the whole camp, it's probably like the best thing that's ever happened to me, honestly. You know, being back home, it wasn't going good. You know, I felt like I was stuck. I was in a bad place, and you know, I came down here. It's like it was really good for me, and I'm really happy with everyone in the camp. You know, the people at Fight Stars TV as well. You know, they've all treated us really good, and yeah, I'm really happy right now, and I'm excited for June 10th, my return, and it's gonna be number 15. It's gonna be a good one.
Is this like riding a bike for you now? Being in camp and just the grueling nature of camp, do you feel like, I got this? You know, I know it's still early in your career, but it's starting to become repetitive with the schedule that Matchroom has you on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just like, you know, I had this fight March 5th, and I took 2 weeks off, came back, and I felt like way better. Like, you know, I thought I was going to come back and be like a little rusty. You know, I didn't train for like 2 weeks. But I came back and I felt like even better, bro. Like I felt stronger, felt fast. You know, my condition was still there. Then that's when I thought to myself, like, man, yeah, like, I got this. You know, this is nothing. This is fun. And yeah, even when I was home, bro, I missed being around the guys, you know, and just training and running in the mornings and doing all those little things.
On fight night, do you remember what you weighed?
I weighed fight night, I think it was 177.
How much did you balloon in 2 weeks?
I got up to like 190. Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe it happens that quick for you guys.
Yeah, I got up to like 188. That's what I saw, but I probably went a little higher.
Now, was that 2 weeks, 14 straight days of no running, no training, and eating bad, or just still running but eating bad? Like, how does one gain all that weight?
I was just eating, bro, and I went for one run during those 2 weeks. It was in Costa Rica.
Oh, wow, you went to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was just like, I want to go for a run, so I went for a run, and it was, the scenery was just beautiful. You know, like I need to go for a run here.
Wait, now you got me intrigued. You got no girl. Who'd you go to Costa Rica with?
I went with a few friends.
Nice. That's I'm Caribbean, so I love to travel, and I definitely love a Caribbean location.
Yeah.
Costa Rica's on the list. One of the few that I haven't been to. So how was it for you, and why Costa Rica?
It was super fun. My friends actually chose Costa Rica. Usually after my fights, we would do something like that, go on a little, just like 3 days, 4-day trip. And yeah, we chose Costa Rica. Went with a group of friends, and it was super fun.
Did you do any excursions? Are you an excursion type of guy, or you just like to chill at the resort?
Not yet. I did the
Zip lining?
Zip lining. I went on the water rafting.
Okay.
I did what else did I do? Oh, I did the ATVs.
All right.
I did a few different things. Yeah, I have some friends, brother, that they love to travel, and they actually like have their own business where they like, it's kind of like Expedia, you know, they make those packages, but for like Dodger games and like sports games, you know, they do that, things like that. So
Shout them out.
Patone 294. Nice. Yeah, out of LA.
Say it again.
Patone
294.
Nice.
Yeah, they do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they do packages for
sports games
Dodgers.
too?
Yeah,
That's
man,
cool.
bro, they'll have like
Patone 294.
500 people deep.
P-A-T-O-N-E?
Traveling to support the Dodgers wherever they play at.
Patone, P-A-T-O-N-E?
Yeah.
294.
294, yeah.
Uh-oh. Paulie's about to give himself a package.
Yo, those sports packages are sometimes tough to get, bro. You just get a package instead of just the tickets, bro. You know they.
Yeah, you got your hotel, your
bro.
flight, everything.
That's the way you should do it, actually.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boxing needs to think about something like that.
Yeah, bro. I've been telling him, bro, like, you know what I'm saying?
For a weekend like this.
There's a lot of
For a
Bro,
weekend
you
like
need
this.
to get with him and invest. Make Patone Pacheco 2.0. You know what I'm saying? For boxing.
There's a lot of boxing fans that
Absolutely.
P square, Patone Pacheco. P square. P square 294.
Imagine how many fight fans, hypothetically would go to like Australia. Like as a fight fan, I always wanted to go to Australia, and I thought this is gonna be my time. Now that Devin's got a fight camp, I'm definitely
Patone 294.
But without Patone 294, those tickets are $1,500 for the worst ticket with like 16-hour layover. Like, I need a Patone 294. You need a package deal.
for
For
You know what you got to do first? You got to go talk to the guys to get the gas prices down. That's really the problem.
Horrible.
The airplanes can't fly without that gas.
And then, Paul, so Ness isn't going anymore, but like I'm still going, and I'm like, damn, they're not even doing media packages. So now I got
Patton 294.
At least
Get a
Bob-
media package involved in that package.
So when Bob had the deal with the Venetian in Macau, he did that. You know, he had packages for people to go who were part of the media to go see the Manny Pacquiao versus whoever the fuck he fought out there. It was Bart, Brandon,
Algeria was one of them, I think, right?
and Brandon, right?
I mean, the guy's got a half
Yeah.
a century of business experience. What'd you expect? He wasn't gonna do that.
Intelligent, but yeah, man, you should not sleep on that idea. Boxing definitely needs something. We definitely do. But I got some questions for you as well. La Duda is back. Claudio says, who has been your toughest sparring partner till date? David Benavidez.
Yeah.
Really?
David for sure is is up there for sure.
Oh wait, but you sparred Canelo too.
I sparred Canelo as well.
Oh, where's David at? Okay, he left. Tell me the truth. Who's better?
The thing is, this is the thing. When I
No. Who's better? Nah, I'm fucking with you. You can't answer that. Yo, he's like,
No, this is the thing though. When I went with Canelo, I was supposed to fight on his undercard, and I ended up getting sick.
Oh.
So I remember the first
COVID?
No, I didn't have COVID, but it was when all that COVID. Even Dazn was like, they got mad at me because I didn't want to say I was sick because I wanted to still be part of the show. And shit. But they were like, oh yeah, like you can't be around Canelo and you're sick and
Damn.
shit. They kind of got a little mad about that, but yeah, you see, I was there for 2 weeks, and it was good. You know, I enjoyed it, but you know, when I came with David, I was in camp with him for 6 weeks, and then next camp another 6 weeks, and here we've been here for 4 months. So you know, it's just different. You know, working with David, it's different styles. You know, when I sparred Canelo, I feel like he wasn't really throwing much, but that's how he fights. He was just like waiting for me, moving his head, just blocking, parrying, and trying to counter me. But you know, I was a little too long. He was struggling a little bit, which was what he liked, because you know, even Eddie Reynoso, you know, they say that I'm not easy to hit. And I move my legs a lot. I move my head and keep my defense tight. And I guess that's what they wanted.
That's what's up.
But I will say, when I was sparring him, he fucked my shoulder up because he was doing the same thing he did to Colin Smith. Mm-hmm. He was practicing that shit on me.
Damn. So was your arm out of commission for any bit of time?
Yeah.
Was your arm out of commission for any amount of time?
I remember one sparring session, he hit me like so many times that day that I couldn't even throw my jab anymore.
Damn.
My arm was fucked up, but it healed quick. You know, it wasn't really a problem.
We got Mr. Adore that says, what year and in what city do you see yourself handling your first main event?
My dream would be Staples Center in LA, my hometown. Yeah.
What year? This year, next year, the one after that?
I say probably maybe, being realistic, maybe not next year, but the following. It's because it's hard, bro. Like when you're on Matchroom, bro, the card is full of world title fights.
He'll probably headline before that, but headline the Staples Center is, you know, you gotta be of a certain level.
Exactly. Yeah.
Bro, you're already at 14 fights though.
Yeah, I'm at 14 fights.
Like I feel like the other day you just had 5 fights. It's flying for me. It's crazy, man. They're keeping you super busy.
I also went to Costa Rica because it was my 21st birthday. I went out there for that too. Yeah.
Nice. We got James Valdez in San Antonio. Who do you think won the first GGG versus Canelo fight, in your honest opinion? And do you care to see the third fight?
Yeah, I think
The first one?
I think the first one.
Who do you think won
I
the
think
first?
the first one.
And do you care to see the third?
You got people asking who won the first one?
Yeah, people still
The first
asking
one?
that. The first one. That's why that trilogy is so important to fight fans. Some people still think he lost. Some people think he won.
I mean,
Triple G. I think Triple G won that.
I mean,
fight.
the first one, I would think people would ask who you think won the second one, because that's the one that gets debated. The first one, but there's people who think something else besides the 3 judges. Yeah, I don't know. What kind of question is that?
That's because you think it was definitively Gennady Golovkin in that first fight.
I think the same thing.
And that's pretty much the general consensus, but there's still a fraction of people that think Canelo pulled it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at Paulie's face. Look at Paulie's face.
No comment. Come on.
I definitely want Canelo to win this weekend so they could make that fight next.
Do you think it's still as big?
Wait,
and as
He's 175 years old now. What's the point? Joe Louis would have hit 75 years old when they fought him.
They told me I'd be on the undercard. That's the reason.
Oh, okay.
I want to be on there. Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
That's
let's
a big
hope that
undercard.
shit happen next so
Exactly.
Diego can get on the undercard.
And let's hope he wins both of those fights. We got
I mean, he's with the zone anyway, so Canelo has the next fight with the zone regardless.
Yeah.
So no matter who he fights, he'll be on that card.
We got Dual Ingram in Compton. He says, if a genie could grant you one boxing wish, what would you want? The power of the Bronze Bomber or the defense of Floyd Mayweather?
The defense of Floyd Mayweather.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why? You got to tell me why now.
I already got the power.
Okay.
You say defense. I mean,
Okay.
the defense is it's all right, but it could be better. You know, Floyd's defense.
And defense comes with intelligence, you know. But to be good defensively, it means you're thinking of on a higher level. So automatically, you're gonna be thinking on a higher level. Your whole being inside the ring becomes a smarter fighter.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mr. PBC says, I'm picking Bivol, baby. PBC, baby. Why has Zuldo never fought the best at 175?
Surdo, shit. I don't know. I've sparred with Surdo a few times. The first time I sparred him, I was like 15. So I've known him.
Be sparring champs young.
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. And honestly, I don't know, man. I think it's been past the time where he should fight somebody, another world champion or another big name, you know. But yeah, I honestly don't know why he hasn't fought any.
It's crazy. My man gets a killer pass too, because like Andre gets talked about for not fighting a big name, but Zuldo's like at 40-something fights, right?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Damn near at 50, huh? It's crazy.
He's gonna fight you. That's gonna be his first big name. Big Casual says, a fight, which one of these three fights would you, no, as a fight fan, which one of these three fights would you want to see first? Tyson Fury versus Usyk, Canelo versus 160-pound Charlo, Tank versus Ryan, and if you could be on the undercard, which of these fights would you choose? Need him again?
Wait, who's Canelo versus?
Canelo versus
Charlo.
Charlo, but at 160 though, which is, that'll never happen.
Why?
Well,
Unrealistic.
when it was supposed to happen, you mean probably that's what the question was probably.
Probably the Usyk.
Supposed to happen. Wait a minute. Diving into that. What do you mean, Paulie? Why didn't it happen then, Paulie?
They create these franchise titles and make fights not happen.
Very
You could force them. Instead, you just create another belt and everybody's happy. Okay, we take our belt. You take your belt. We'll go in a different way.
Man, it's crazy. Like
If you don't do that, you force the fights to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one guy doesn't get a belt, so he's got to fight to get it.
Yeah.
you know, if champions would fight their mandatory instead of going to the WBC and requesting the franchise belt to avoid their mandatory fight, and a 20-year-old Devin Haney.
Oh, he's circling back there, Paulie. You see where he's going with it? He's
Hey,
trying
man,
to
I
bait
get-
you in. Don't do it. Don't do it.
No. Listen, I think Haney is a good fighter. I don't think he's like of a different wow level though. I think his fight with Kambosos is very, very risky. I think it's 50-50. You know what I mean? So, and especially that it's in Australia, it's more than 50-50.
Yeah.
But if this was a guy that was supposed to scare off Lomachenko, we're gonna find out in the Kambosos fight. Because if he can't hang with Kambosos, then the obvious was always obvious. Which I think to me is what my opinion. My opinion is the obvious to me. You know what I mean? If he was that good, he would have already fought guys we've heard of. He's just coming into the 36-year-old Linares and all these other stuff, you know. And Jojo, whose best weight was 126 pounds, you know. I don't know. Teofimo was fighting a lot more dangerous opponents at that age, you know. So when you believe in yourself and your fighter, you can kind of see the road paved, you know. Teofimo Lopez was fighting much more dangerous fighters at a young age, and the option was there, the same weight class. So Haney could have fought Richard Comey. Where was it? Fought Linares instead.
We won't go too deep into it because it'll take us off track, but you know the Haney T.O. were in the WBC
It's always
tournament.
about something, but it never happened. Haney and T.O. were going to fight. Now you're going to give me the whole lightweight division. Somehow you got an excuse for every single lightweight not to have it. You don't even go there, bro, because you already gave me the same excuse for Lomachenko, and now you're giving me the same excuse for T.O. too. Bro, what do you got? You got one in your pocket for every top lightweight. You know what it is? They were gonna fight, but this one they were gonna do this. No.
But
Just
Fight
because
Kambosos.
you
Fight
did bring up,
Kambosos in June.
just
That's it.
because he did bring up Comey, that offer was made, and they turned it down
To fight Loma.
To fight Loma.
The zone made an offer
No belt.
to Richard Comey to fight Devin for the belt to become a champion. He chose to fight Loma.
Because Comey has already won a real belt, so he doesn't care about the secondary belt. You know, like I told you before, I would not have gone to Ukraine for a secondary belt.
because the world knows that Devin is indeed the WBC lightweight champion, but
then why are they calling Kambosos the undisputed champion, bro?
money.
Listen, either
Money.
way, if you guys fight, the winner gets the undisputed title now. So there's no
we'll
debate
find out
anymore.
this
Whoever
fight.
they fight each other, the winner has the undisputed
June
title,
5th,
and
baby.
there's no debate anymore.
You're right,
But you
Paulie.
get the fact that Kambosos is told by the WBC that he's the undisputed champion should already tell you everything.
I'm just saying.
The
On the
WBC
website,
themselves-
Kambosos does
website-
not think he's undisputed.
on the
Do you?
website.
Is Kambosos undisputed in your opinion as a
Well,
fighter?
Devin Haney still has a belt.
Thank
so.
you.
They made up.
Boom.
Kambosos had the same belt, where they just made two of them.
Yeah.
Haiti still has the belt. Kambosos already had that
Only
belt.
one guy has the real
I
belt.
hear you.
Last question for
No, but
Diego. He's got to
find out
go.
in June, you know.
Yeah, we will.
fight's
Yeah,
gonna
either way,
happen, so.
the winner gets the undisputed title with no debate.
Last question for you. I know you got to go. Big Casual says, we've said that. You just didn't pick who would you want to fight on. What card?
Probably Usyk and Fury, because that'll probably be on the other side of the pond, and that'd be hard.
Stadium fight.
I fought in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And so, going over there was a hell of an experience. So I would love to go to wherever.
Which
hell
card
I
were you on
fought
in Saudi Arabia?
The AJ Ruiz too.
Oh man, nice.
Weren't you there for that one?
No, but I worked a fight in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you know what's
Yeah,
crazy,
that's
I
bro?
worked another fight in
I
Saudi Arabia.
was a swing belt, so they put me right before the main event.
Oh, great timing though.
dope, bro,
Great
yeah.
timing, yeah. That's
So
great timing.
was Canelo still in the locker room, or did he get to watch you fight?
Canelo, he saw me fight. Yeah, I remember when I got in the ring, like I looked around and he was right there, right next to the ring. Yeah.
Nice.
I saw him. It was packed. It was right before the main event.
Yeah,
like the co-main event had just happened, so everyone was expecting the main event. And it's like, oh, we got this fucking
Then you
swing
came
belt.
out.
Yeah.
That's good though, because that's hit or miss. Sometimes you wind up after the main
Bro,
event. You know?
well, that had has that ever happened to you or no? Did that ever happen
No,
to you?
they shut. It's happened to me that they shut off my fight. It got too late. I was gonna go after the main event, and instead they were like, "I cut it."
What?
But they pay you. But still,
Yeah, we had somebody.
Have you had a fight after the main event?
That almost happened to me at the first AJ and
The first AJ Ruiz fight in the
and
garden.
Ruiz, yeah. So I was waiting, bro. Like, so when you're a swing belt, whatever time the fight starts, you got to be gloved up
Gloved up.
already.
From 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, yeah.
All
I was
night.
gloved up till 11. You know, I didn't fight till like 11. But,
6
but
hours.
They almost
Yes.
did that to me though. They were about to cut
about
the
to
show
cut-
off.
yep.
But then
Yeah,
so
they
it was
did.
like you might go, you might not. It was like, so I
Bro,
was like,
wait. So
Only
you had
time-
the glove with the tape
Yes.
yes.
Well, bro,
signed for
Yes.
6
bro,
hours.
6
I had it
hours.
5 to 12.
Yes.
Signed 5 to 12,
Yo,
and
so
then
what
I didn't
happens
fight.
if you like,
and then
fuck
I
that
didn't
shit
fight.
and you-
And then I didn't fight. Then they cut me.
Paulie, I can't remember the name of the fight. It's a fighter that everybody here would know. I can't remember the name of the fighter. But when Gervonta fought at the StubHub, when he fought, it was supposed to be
Pitbull?
Abner, but it wasn't. Who was it? Cuatito.
Pitbull.
Yeah, no, Cuatito.
Okay.
At the StubHub. This was a couple years ago. I remember the first fight was at 2. The swing bout didn't go till like 12:30. So it was like 3:30 in the morning in New York. It was 12:30 here in LA.
Yeah.
It was already after midnight. I'm like, fuck. And he's like, yeah, bro, they've gloved me up 3 times because I've had to use the bathroom. So the commission has had to watch me get gloved up 3 times. I'm like, that's fucking nuts.
I remember too, bro. It was at the MSG, and I was hungry, bro. It was I got gloved at 5. You know, I was hungry as hell, and then they were like super strict. Like I couldn't put anything in my mouth but water. I remember I even my manager, he tried to give me some fruit, and they even made me spit it out. He put it in my mouth,
So
and they're like, no,
stupid.
spit that
It's
shit
dumb.
out.
Wow.
Dumb rules, man.
But it was crazy.
But then they won't test for the real stuff, you know. But they're worried about the orange you're eating in the locker room.
yeah.
What could you possibly lace a piece of orange with? That's going to give you some sort of advantage in the ring. But Pacheco, please give out your social media. We don't want to hold you on this couch any longer.
You guys can follow me on Instagram, Real Diego Pacheco, on Twitter, Real D Pacheco, and just follow me and follow the journey to becoming a world champion.
What's the date? July 10th, right? Mexico
June
City?
10th.
June 10th. I'm
June
sorry.
10th.
June 10th,
Yeah, June 10th.
Mexico City.
It's coming up. Yeah.
And then hopefully all goes well, injury free. We'll see you on the Canelo undercard Mexican Independence Weekend,
Yes,
September
sir.
17th.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
and he'll be the first man to take out Zurdo Ramirez.
Could be.
We're
gonna take a quick intermission.
No, actually, we're not. You can, unless Paulie needs to. I know you're a busy man, but I do have those questions I want to get off for you. But Pacheco, you could definitely.
There you go. Good stuff, bro.
Thank you, brother. All right, let me just find yours here. Where are you?
While you find that, you mind if we jump into the promo at least?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty then.
What up, TBV? Welcome to the Fight Stars Fight House Mansion. David Benavidez is inside training. Let's give you a walkthrough.
Come on. Saturday, May 7th, 5 p.m. Oh!
Tomorrow, Benavidez fights. It goes down. That was dope. Shout out to the crew that put that together. Who did that? Omar, you getting nasty.
Shout out to
Omar getting nasty. All right, we're going to start over. We got David Maldonado. He says, what's up, champ? I snuck in 2 questions for you in one. Please compare the difference in power between Miguel Cotto and Danny Garcia, and who wins prime for prime. How? Please be as specific as possible. Danny versus Cotto at 140 and at 147.
Yeah, that's a really multi-layered question.
Tell me about it.
Cotto's power is more like it's like brute strength, you know. It's like it hurts when it hits you, you know. It's like, but there's not enough snap on Cotto's shots. He's almost like a boulder, you know. There's not enough snap on Cotto's shot. Sometimes it hurts so bad that you just wish he'd put you out of your misery by having some snap on it and knocking you out cold, right? That's how bad it hurts, you know. It's just a heavy shot. While Garcia has that whipping hook, sort of like I don't want to compare it to Trinidad, because Trinidad has an amazing whipping hook, but it's in that mold, in that if it touches you right, you'll go to sleep, you know, because it has that whip. It has that, which is, to me, that whip, that snap is the off switch. Cotto never had the off switch because he doesn't have enough snap on it. It's just a redundant, like heavy shot. So you almost, it hurts bad. I feel like that's worse, because that hurts so much you almost wish he put a snap on it and put you out of your misery, but it just keeps you in there, and you got to decide whether you're going to break or not, you know? While guys like Danny Garcia, even Trinidad, or guys in that mode with a whipping hook, if that hits you right, you're going to sleep, you know? I think Cotto was a more complete fighter, but Danny's very durable. I mean, I would pick Cotto to win because he's more refined, so to speak. But it will be a good fight. I tell you, it will be a good fight because Danny's durable and Danny's dangerous. And when he punches with you the way he does, Cotto's fundamentals are amazing. Though I would pick Cotto on points, a rare points win at 140 pounds for Cotto, because Cotto was not knocking most guys out. But I would pick Cotto on points because Danny is a very durable guy, and he'd handle himself well in that fight.
All right, we got Ruin of 504 New Orleans that says, what are some of the benefits of having your own platform?
You kind of get to break it down the way you want to. You don't have to play the team membership role that you do at some networks. You just can kind of break down a fight the way you want to. You can speak as much as you want to, you know, to your platform. You know, you can break things down your way, and you know, I don't know. I feel like I have that creative control there with my platform, and also you can, you know, YouTube has ways to you can be monetized if you get that followers, subscribers up, and all that good stuff. So, you know, if you have a good team and you're coming up with creative content, and you have a love for what you're doing, which, you know, having your own channel, obviously you have to have a love for whatever you're talking about. I think the platform is a great way to go. Once you create that subscriber base, they become loyal, and that's, you know, this too. So it becomes pretty cool. It's almost like a family. While in Showtime or a big network, you don't really have that that connection with
the
your
fans,
viewers, with
yeah.
your viewers. You know, you're not really answering to the comments. You're not really paying attention to the comments. It's just a straight corporate network. And a lot of times the corporate networks want to have that favoritism, you know, so you can't really be yourself. And I feel like that's what fans want to see. Fans don't want to see the favoritism. They want to see you be yourself, which sometimes hurts and sometimes it doesn't. You know, when you're yourself, they don't agree with you. They're all up against you. And when they agree with you, they appreciate you. Say, oh, that's why you're not on a corporate network, because, you know, you speak your mind. So that can also be very fickle in that way. But I think it's cool. You know, it's definitely an advantage overall. You know, and it's been fun. I'll tell you this. I will put it like this: a corporate network like Showtime, and I'm sure all the other corporate networks, make you live in fear of losing that job, because there's only so many of those kind of jobs, right? Because there's only so many networks that have that kind of platform. And when I was there, I knew I was good at what I was doing, but they almost make you live in fear. Like, don't mess this up, you know, like, you know, do good, don't mess it up, you know, raise your level of your game, and, you know, don't do anything to get yourself tossed out of this. Because, you know, sometimes I wanted to work. I remember when Fox came into the game with PBC, they wanted me. And so I was hoping to work with both Fox and Showtime, because the networks were never going to compete against each other on the same night, unlike another network. So I thought they would be allowed. And my bosses at Showtime didn't let me. And I remember I was kind of giving them a pushback about it, and they were like, listen, man, you know, don't get yourself outed with with this kind of network, because, you know, there's only so many of these openings, you know. And I remember like kind of letting it hit me, as in like, man, I gotta be careful, you know, like I'm kind of one of the fortunate ones to have this. And then when I lost it,
a bunch of opportunities opened up for you,
bro. I would go as far as to say I make very close to what my ex-boss was making. Not what I was making at Showtime, what my ex-boss was making. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I don't like to talk about finances, because, you know, I feel like this is something this generation does. You know, you do something because you love it. And I love to talk about boxing regardless. So I'm happy and fortunate that all of a sudden I found myself on all these different with all these different opportunities and platforms to just talk boxing and exchange ideas in a real way. Like, you can't do it on Showtime the way we do it here on the Boxing Boys, for example. You know, like it's just you know.
And what you're doing with Antonio and Roy.
Yeah, at Pro Box.
You guys are phenomenal together. I watched the.
Well, that's the thing, Ness. A lot of people always say, "No, I wish there was a broadcast team with Paulie and Roy, or Paulie and Andre Ward, or Paulie and Antonio." And now all of a sudden it just came together. We're all together, and I'm also able to show people how I can speak in Spanish too, because my Spanish has kind of just evolved through the years because I speak Italian, and I've been on a couple of the Spanish broadcasts with Juan Manuel Marquez in the marketing campaign as well. And obviously, people that see me on Poli TV have already seen that my Spanish is, you know, it's not perfect, but it's conversation. It's enough where I can have a conversation, you know. And so it's allowed me to almost broaden that out. And I don't think people realized a lot of things about me when I had to be that corporate guy. Not that it was ever tying me down, like I was choosing it, but you know, you can only show so much of yourself, because you don't really get any other opportunities to show more of yourself. Well, with your own brand and
that platform isn't
now
developed.
You're able to do that. Yeah, exactly.
It's not developed in a way that can show Paulie's personal side and
it's not
open, you know, your audience
and
to
with Paulie TV, and now with Pro Box. I'll tell you what, I was with Boxer from the beginning. Boxers now has a Sky contract. And I remember when Ben Shalom came up to me, and the president of Boxer, and he said, when it was the idea, he just came up with me with this idea. We went for lunch, we talked in London, it was just an idea. And then like I gave him my thoughts on something, and you know, he told me he wanted to be part of the project. And I remember doing it as a side job. I was allowed to do the little side jobs when I was at Showtime, because as long as they were not competing entities, and anything foreign is not competing with an American network. So I was always allowed to do foreign stuff. That's why I did a lot of stuff with Sky back in the day. So I remember when it was just an idea, and just being part of that little idea, it grew all the way to now. Now I'm not always able to be with them because I've got my own stuff going on, but I still run back and forth with Boxer all the time. I handle some affairs for them too, as an American contact with them. But still, while just having been part of a growing network, of a growing brand, from when it was just an idea. And now in February, I wasn't there, but they sold out the Men Arena for Conor Brook. They promoted that show. Like, and I remember you when it was just an idea. And Ben Shalom was younger than me. You know what I mean? He's a young kid. So like, it feels cool to be part of, to be able to say, yo, man, I can be a part of something that grows. Yo, I'm that much of an important, intricate part of the brand of the sport of boxing. Like, if I don't work for you, it does not the end of the world. I can actually be something without you. You're gonna need me more than I'm gonna need you, but you never feel that way until you get your own platform. And then you realize, well, if you have the branding and if you have the material, the stuff that people want, which I do, all of a sudden you find out, bro, you'll be in demand like crazy. So, yo, I'm excited. The same way that Boxer grew the way it grew, I think I can help the brand, the Pro Box TV brand now. You know, they came on aggressive. They got me, Roy Jones, Antonio Tarver. For the Spanish broadcast, they picked up Juan Manuel Marquez, and they're going to include me on some of the Spanish broadcasts. You know, we got Mike Goldberg on the play-by-play, who was the voice of the USC for like 25 years. You know, like, I think
and you guys got a new venue now. You're no longer doing it there, right? You have a casino.
No, we got some casino deals on the side. We still have our venue, but also, you know, off the jump, our first show is Jean Pascal and Mang Fan Long, right? It's a nice main event. It's got an ex-world champion involved. We want to kind of start building it and become like the old Friday Night Fights where we have boxing content. Remember the old Friday Night Fights where
on
you could
ESPN?
Yeah, where you could talk about any show. Like now, every channel has a contract with a promoter, so they only talk about those promoters' fights. You know what I mean? Like, so we want to be like that, just boxing content channel. Yeah, we're gonna have our own content and our own live shows like Pascal and Mang Fan Long, but we also just want to be that boxing channel. Me, Roy, and Antonio are going to have a show together. You know what I mean? Not just the broadcast, but also our show, our weekly show. Yeah. So I think, you know, the chance people get, that's by the way, that's $1.99 a month, guys. I mean, it's crazy. To me, it's a no-brainer. And $18 a year, which if you do $18 a year, it becomes out to $1.50 a month. So I mean, it's a no-brainer for me if for any boxing fan to order it.
How many shows are they doing a year, you think?
They're going to do 2 to 3 live events a month.
Wow.
They're not all going to be as big as having a Pascal card, but they want to do at least one where there's a bigger one. They're going to do
boxing is
they're going to be doing little tournaments. One we have it's called Last Chance, with guys who maybe were prospects at one time and they fell off, and now they kind of have to fight each other. They're in a pot. Yeah, so we're doing something like that. And we have a Future Stars promo where we're going to start showcasing our future stars as well. So I think we're doing a lot of things, but also we're going to talk about all the other fights, boxing and stuff like that on our weekly shows. So I got picked up for something like that. Then I got my own channel, Poli TV. Then FightStars.tv started. I started working with Fight Stars, you know, and Fight Stars has been amazing with me. And I met the Fight Stars team when I did that podcast, and I'm sure you guys have seen it on YouTube, when it was me, Cotto, and Zab just talking about our rivalry in the pros. I mean, that's been getting crazy hits on YouTube. People love that conversation. I know, guys, I spoke too much. I spoke more than anybody else. I'm a chatterbox, but nonetheless, I just wanted to make sure people, you know, I appreciate the guys I fought, man. Beat them or lost to them, I appreciate it. I'm so thankful that I was able to share the ring with these guys, because it allowed me to make a living and just, like, people look back at these fights, whether I won or lost, like, yo, I was part of a big fight. Yo, that was part of that big fight. So you know, but when I did that, it allowed me to meet Patrick Oakes from Fight Stars as well. So again, the platform, going back to the original channel, I veered off, but having my own platform has been a big advantage, more of an advantage than I could have ever thought. It's been really good.
Amazing. James Valdez in San Antonio, Texas says, love the podcast you did on the post-fight interview against Juan Baby Bull Diaz in Houston, Texas. My question, which former fighter do you see as a great current trainer, and which do you see as not so good as a trainer despite their desire to do so?
That's kind of a long-winded question, because you got to go through a lot of different guys. First of all, a lot of trainers are ex-fighters, you know, and yeah, I mean, I think Ronnie is a good trainer. His volume speaks for itself. But I think maybe he's talking about it in the rematch. I remember in the rematch when I heard Juan Diaz, Ronnie told him to take the next round off. You know, which, like, you were already behind a few rounds. So I remember thinking about that later on. I might have talked about it on the podcast. But I was saying, like, yo, I don't think that was the instructions for Juan in that moment, even though maybe it made him survive until he wasn't hurt again. But as far as trainers, I don't know, man. You know, I don't want to criticize anybody, because here's the thing that I learned in my life, right? I've worked with various trainers. Some worked for me, some didn't work for me. Here's the thing that I learned in my life. A trainer may be bad for you or good for you, and then he may be the opposite for somebody else. It all depends on your strengths and weaknesses, and it depends on what trainers have, strengths and weaknesses they have. When I was young, people said, "Oh, a good trainer can just adapt to your style. You know, like he'll understand your style and make you better." In reality, what I learned, the reality is every trainer has their style that they work with. And if you have to understand you as a fighter and your management when you're young, because when you're young, you don't have this understanding. Your management can't be a bunch of dummies. They have to understand if you stylistically blend well with the style of a particular trainer, no matter how big of a name trainer he is. So it's a marriage, so to speak, and it has to work well in a balanced act. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I may say a trainer is good. You may say, oh, what ex-trainers what ex-fighters are good or bad. Guys that I may say are good or bad, another fighter may give you the opposite response because it all depends stylistically how you blend and how you mesh well. The trainer definitely, though, that I've learned will not adjust to your style. He will not adjust to your style. So you've got to know as a fighter and as a style that you have what trainer is good for you and works well with a fighter with fighters with your kind of instincts, and which trainer, more importantly, which trainers don't work well, so you know which ones to avoid as well.
Paulie, they trying to get you here, man. Don't fall for this one.
I know.
Can you explain how you only gave Wilder 3 rounds in the first Fury fight?
I mean, I don't think it was that difficult. I mean, Fury jabbed the hell out of him. Wilder, I mean, we just talk about 20 minutes ago. This guy, I'm sure, was this guy listening? I'm sure we were criticizing Ryan Garcia for not cutting off the ring against Tago. I mean, did Wilder not do the exact same thing? Only he got his head jabbed off the whole night while he was following Fury around the ring. You know what I mean? So, he would have lost more than 3 rounds. He just got the knockdowns in both rounds. He would have lost round 12 for sure if he didn't get the knockdown. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why it's such a shock. He barely won the rounds that he got the knockdowns in, let alone how I got 3 rounds in. You're lucky he got the knockdown, so he at least won 3 rounds in the fight. Otherwise, he wouldn't have even won 3 rounds in the fight.
So which round did you give him? Which third round?
Because now we're talking about a fight 3 years ago, but I don't remember. But I remember, like, after 5 rounds, Floyd Mayweather tapping me on my shoulder, and I had to take off my headset like this. I remember I was like this in between rounds. It was either between 4 and 5, between 5 and 6. I don't remember now because, like I said, it's almost 3 years ago. But I remember getting a tap on my shoulder and looking at
Paulie, if you want to move here so those headphones are closer.
No, it's fine. I just don't want to lose my train of thought next, you know? So I remember like getting a tap on my shoulder, and I look back and it's Floyd. So now I'm on live TV, so I gotta take my headset off because when we work on live TV, the mic is here. So I gotta be like, what's up? You know, and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, yo, I only gotta win in 1 round. How you got it? And I'm like,
that's insane.
And I'm like, yeah, I thought I'm not going crazy, right? He's like, no, it's crazy, you know. So
how'd you?
Now I knew I wasn't going crazy. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching a fight. I'm like, this guy's not effective. He's coming forward. He's not being effective.
Do those things even hit you? Like, I mean, if Floyd taps me and asks my opinion on a fucking live fight in the moment,
well, he was in the corral, so he was sitting right behind us already.
I don't care. That's a big moment for me. It doesn't matter for you that like he values your opinion that much.
I mean, later on you think about it and it's cool, but in the moment, you're just like caught up in this fight because remember this fight was a big fight. You know,
it's a huge fight.
In the moment you're just caught up in it, and it's fun to see like even somebody like Floyd caught up in it. You know what I mean? Because people always think about Floyd's all about himself.
Bet Fury
really, Floyd is all about it. You know what I mean? Floyd is all.
No, he bet that fight. Remember, he bet.
It was
Fury.
a draw, but it was a draw that fight.
No, I won on that draw. I bet the draw. I got Dual Ingram who says, as a retired fighter, you've been through a lot. You've been sucked into a lot of situations. How do you, as a very popular man, make sure not to end up in a Mike Tyson situation on an airplane? Also, what advice would you give to someone like David who is fastly gaining in popularity?
This is a good question, and I've got to work on this myself a lot more, you know. It's not easy, man. It's not. I'll be honest, man. Yeah, I gotta work on that a lot more. You know what I mean? Because
you've been in Mike Tyson situations.
Yeah, bro. I'll be honest. I'll be honest, bro. It's a funny story. Now I can look back on it and see because I don't think this kid realized who he got into a fight with, which was me.
Yeah.
I'm running late. Did I tell you the story? Okay, I'll tell you the story now. I'm running late. It's one of the last Showtime fights I worked, by the way. It's funny, this guy, you got to thank this guy for getting this story out of me because I would never usually tell the story, and at least not on a show. So it's one of the last Showtime fights I worked. It was at Barclays Center. It was January 2020, right before the pandemic hit, you know? and it was Danny Garcia versus Ivan Redkach. So when the fights are in New York, I got a place in New York, so I don't stay in the hotel. You know, like I'll just stay at my crib, and then I take the subway. I don't care. Like during the day, like I'm cool with taking the subway in New York City. I don't care. I think it's the fastest way to go. You don't got to worry about parking. You don't got to worry about traffic. So I don't care. Like I'm one of those people. Like I just take the subway. I don't care. It's I'm about my time. I'm not about my luxury. If time sometimes it supersedes luxury. You know what I mean? And then in the case of the subway, the time is always more important for me. So anyway, so I'm running a little bit late. I got to get to the train. I'll get to the train, and now when I'm going to work, I usually have my suit on, but I don't have my tie and my jacket. You know, like I kept my jacket on. I'll get to the arena. I'll take it off until we get. So, but my tie's in my pocket. So I got like the buttons are buttoned down. I got my jacket on and then pants, and I got my keys and my cell phone in my hand. I got to the train station. I got to the train. I'm running a little bit late. Honestly, we got to do our rehearsal for the show. I'm in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn, my house, right? To the Barclays Center, it's about, let's say 7-8 stops, you know? So it's about 25 minutes.
I love that. That was like straight Italian. It's about.
But it's like, you know, like about 25 minutes, right? So like I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, shit, man, I can't be late for this rehearsal. Because, they're very professional over there, you know? Like regardless of the differences I've had, they run a tight ship. So if anybody, I take the D train, right, from Bensonhurst. So if anybody knows the D train at Barclays Center, to get outside, you got to go up a bunch of stairs, go a bunch of tunnels. You know, it's a little bit of a walk when you get off the train. You don't just, it's not like some train stations, you get off the train and you get outside right away. So as soon as I get off the train, I'm running, I'm going. I'm trying to avoid people. There's traffic. Yeah, I'm going. I'm zooming in and out. And I run up the stairs. I'm going through the halls and through the other train station, through the other trains in the train station. And I must have, listen, if I bump into you, I'll say, excuse me, my bad. Like I know if I bump into you, I'm in a rush, but I know if I'll always say, I'm not rude like that. I didn't touch this guy. You know what I mean? I know I didn't touch this guy. But maybe I must have cut him off because I was darting in and out of people. So maybe I must have cut him off, you know?
Walking, not in a car.
He was probably walking. Yeah, he was walking, but I was like darting between people, you know, like I was trying not to be like, I got shoes on, I got dress pants on, I got a blazer on, and I got a button down that's a little bit unbuttoned, you know. I feel something on the bottom of my shoe, you know, as I get around, like almost like a kick, right? And at first, I took like another 1 or 2 steps. I thought like maybe I almost tripped over my own feet, like I must have been my own feet, you know. So I remember taking like another 2 steps as I felt that. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, nah, bro. Somebody kicked my shoe, bro. So I turn around, and this guy's like grilling me as he's walking by me. And I'm looking at him, and I still got my keys and my phone in my hand, by the way. So my house keys. So I'm looking at him, and I'm like, and he's just giving me this grill. I like step around because I was in front of him, right? So like I kind of stop and like look back at him, and he's kind of just, and he keeps walking real slow, like grilling me because now I'm asking him a question. So maybe he must have thought I was the nerd in the suit. Maybe he just thought like, I'll kick this guy. I'm just gonna intimidate him.
What'd you ask him?
I asked him, yo, did you kick me? Like General Quay, what did you? But I was like confused because when I turn around, he's giving me an ice grill. So now to me, it makes him a little bit more guilty. You know, like if I would have turned around and just seen like regular people chatting, I'm telling you, I would have thought like, that shit was in my head. I mean, maybe it was nothing. But because I turn around and it's just him and he's like, you know, like never seen Bloodsport, like the guy, when the guy's like, right before the guy when he fights that African guy, he's about to fight, he's like, you know, so he was like that. So I'm like, okay, that makes him a little bit more guilty in my mind, you know. So I kind of step around. I'm like, yo, did you just kick me? And he doesn't answer me. He just ice grills me, and he just keeps walking slow, but he walks by me, and he walks past me. So then I'm like, all right, bro, this guy kicked me. So I put my stuff in my pocket and I go to grab him, like, yo.
Oh, shit.
But I generally was just gonna make him apologize.
But it's New York City. You grab somebody, shit about to pop off.
This guy turned around and punched me dead in my mouth.
Oh.
Dead in my mouth. And then it was on. I punched the shit out of him after that. Somebody had to break it up. He didn't hit me again the rest of the fight. As a matter of fact, I remember I had a cut on my hand because I'm busting his teeth. And somebody broke it up. And I remember like they broke it up and he looks at me and then he just starts walking away. And I'm thinking like, yo, he's walking, which mind you, he changed his mind where he was going because we were both walking the same direction. Now the fight made him make a U-turn. He was going the other way. So he starts walking away and I'm like, yo, and he was going towards another set of steps. I'm like, I was about to go run at him and kick him down the stairs too. I was so pissed off, bro. And somebody across the platform yells, get him, Paulie. So I was like, oh man, I'm like, screw this guy. Let me get to work, man. You know, he was already walking away. I caught him with some good shots myself. But yo, now I'm bleeding inside my mouth. Yo, he got me with a nice shot. And I get to work, and you know, we have to like corporate it up now. You know, like I told my boy, like, yo, get me some alcohol pads. You know, for I got I got a cut on my hand. I'm bleeding. My hands are bleeding from his teeth. You know. Anyway, I went to work. Nobody knew anything. You see me. So that goes to show you again how you avoid the Mike Tyson situations. I try to avoid them as best as I can. I tried to avoid that one. I try to talk my way out of that one. I try to talk my way out of them. Could I have just left it alone when he didn't answer me and just grilled me? Maybe, I guess. Yeah, that's why you got to maybe let your pride not get the best of you. Maybe you got to kind of learn to chill. I work on that every day. Not just for the risk that it is to me, but also, you know, I think we just gotta, in a society where people suck today, we just gotta strive to be better people, man. I'm trying the best I can every day. And again, that's the money aside. When somebody, you know, with somebody like me could get in trouble, like you're talking about Mike Tyson situations, but just in general, I try every day to be a better person, and you know, it's not always easy.
Cisco Promotions is asking, I have watched many of your video fight breakdowns and you're good at style matchups. So with that being said, how would you see a fight with Jermall Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade playing out if it was to happen?
In Andrade's prime, I thought he was the best one of the bunch. At this point, I saw him with Liam Williams in Fort Lauderdale when he fought at the Hard Rock. I went to the fight. And it just wasn't the same Andre to me anymore. You know, he's a reflex fighter. Reflex fighters kind of slow down first, I feel like. He's not the same guy anymore. I think right now Charlo will beat him. But in prime for prime, as good as Charlo is, I think Andre would have beat them all of them. I mean, Canelo, all of them. And Charlo and Andre's prime, he would have beat them all. Golovkin would have been the toughest fight for him, but I'm thinking he could have snuck it in. If he didn't get stopped, he would have snuck in, beaten Golovkin to it. But we'll never find out. We'll never know now because he's not in his prime, and I feel like he probably loses to Charlo right now too.
Well, if you're enjoying this action, I would just want to let you guys know that tomorrow we're going to be having even more amazing festivities. We'll be having catered food here. We're going to have our own little Cinco de Mayo Mexican party for the Canelo Alvarez fight as he takes on Dmitry Bivol, Paulie Malignaggi, Daniel Alvarez, Knockouts with Nika, and David Benavidez will be right here calling the action live in this very room. So you want to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and come and check us out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Check out this promo video. What up, TBV? Welcome to the Fight Stars Fight House Mansion. David Benavidez is inside training. Let's give you a walkthrough. Come on on.
Saturday, May 7th, 5 p.m. Oh!
Tomorrow, Benavidez fights out. It goes down. All right. We are back, man, and we're going to get back into these weekend festivities. But real quick, Danny, didn't you have a friend that has some tax issues?
Yeah, I actually had a couple.
Well, they need that phone number because I know there's a lot of people out there that have a... Damn, man, why do you have a few friends that have tax issues? What's up with that?
Bro, I'm from Chicago.
Al Capone. Al Capone style.
Al Capone style.
Wesley
Well, tell Al
Snipes.
Capone and all your friends in Chicago to hit up the tax doctors because...
Yo, they're simply the best. They'll get you right. They've helped me I know they've held many people, so they got to make sure to call the tax doctors at 833-TBV-TAX with 2 X's.
And that is 833-TBV-TAX, TAXX. That's the tax doctors. So if anybody out there in our audience is having any issues with the IRS, you have some back taxes you need to handle, you want to call these guys first, you know. Don't just go ahead and make a payment plan with the IRS when instead you could call the tax doctors and they might find a way to help resolve some of these issues you have. Once again, that number is 833-TBV-TAXX.
Then don't waste time because every day you wait is
It's
more
interest.
More interest they pack on.
No, let me tell you a true story, right? I owed like $4,000 last year, right? So I send $2,000. I fucking look because I'm logged online. I look, it's $2,800. I couldn't believe 800 interest acquired.
Yeah,
like, and this is legit real. Like, this ain't no, I'm not doing it for this fucking tax shit. Like, I literally gave $800 in interest.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro. The government is fucking out of control.
Extortion, kid.
Bro.
They make the rules.
Bananas.
You can break the rules when you make the rules.
So what'd you do? Just paid the
I paid the
$2,800?
fucking $2,800 because
what are you gonna do?
What else are you
What
gonna
are you gonna do? Take them to court and accuse them of extortion and racketeering?
No, but at least you didn't let it, build up. Just said, fuck it.
But again, which is bringing it back to make this shout out even more organic. Like, if you don't have a tax doctor and you don't have the $2,800, what the fuck would have happened to me? It went from $2,000 to $800, bro. And if I don't have that $2,800, that's gonna just keep building,
piling up.
Yo, in 1 year, I can't even imagine what that would have been in 1 year if I gained $800 interest that fucking fast. It's honestly, it's not cool. Not cool.
Not cool at all.
Yo, and it's
especially
crazy.
with what they do with our tax dollars.
The more you make, the more they take. I don't know. I mean, when you get in that situation, you'll see sometimes it stops being fun making money because you got to pay out so much. It's fucking crazy.
More stress, more money,
But
more problems.
once again, the tax doctors, man. That's 1-833-TAX.
No, motherfucker.
No.
833-TBV-TAXX.
XX, man. Better hit them up. Don't be like Ness paying $800 in fucking interest. I'll tell you that. That was like half the mortgage right there. But, Paulie, we do got a few questions. Man, you're such a good sport, let me tell you, man, because as a famous person, I think 3 hours, I'd have been the fuck out of here already, man.
Where am I going, bro?
I don't know. San Diego, baby.
Bro, I don't know. It's only my second time in my life I've been to San Diego.
Bro, the Padres
Yo, that's
are playing
amazing.
tonight.
It's only my second time.
I said the Padres are playing tonight. I know you like some baseball.
Call Pacheco, man. Get the package.
Patone, right?
Patone
294.
294. I got 40 Thief. He says top 3 favorite movies or movie recommendations, Paulie.
I mean, this is a personal kind of everybody has their personality and what they like. My favorite movie is number 1. People will probably be surprised. Is Braveheart. Braveheart is my favorite movie.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah, Braveheart is my favorite. Then after that, it's probably the movies everybody expects. Number 2 is Raging Bull. And number 3 is probably good.
Shit.
Yo,
Number 3 is probably good. Number 3 is probably Goodfellas.
Is Braveheart the one where he's like, freedom? Okay.
Plus true story,
Bro, Raging Bull
fighting
is
for something,
Raging Bull has to be the all-time worst movie in fucking boxing.
Don't start. Don't get me going. Don't get me going.
Bro,
one of the
how'd you sit through that?
Oh, man, I love it. I can sit through it. Bro, you know what's crazy? I'll tell you what else is crazy.
I can't believe
I'll tell you. You know how this is how, bro. You're the worst because I'll tell you something else. I'll tell you something else about Raging Bull. Obviously now, my girl's at home, so it's all good. But in my life, you know how many girls I've taken to my house to watch Raging Bull? Every single one of them love it, bro. It's a money maker.
What?
Girls love Raging Bull.
Yeah, because they're so fucking, they're frustrated. Like, yo, fuck it, take me to the room. I don't want to watch this shit no more.
No, bro, they love it, bro. They be talking, they be telling me about it later. Like, oh, I love that movie. Like, I'm telling you, bro, girl,
Paulie, you are who you are, bro. They're trying to get in your pockets.
It's a great boxing. It's a great boxing movie, but boxing takes the background of it. You know what I mean? Which is why it's cool. And then it's just a cool story. Maybe I'm partial because I'm Italian American. World champion. For me, the time of the movie, the era that it's in my opinion, is the best time to be both a boxing world champion, because boxing is one of the most popular sports in America in those days. Maybe the number 2 sport behind baseball, right? Would you agree? I mean,
Especially back then.
in those days. So it's the best time to be a boxing world champion because you're like a 5-star celebrity, right? And it's also the best era to be an Italian American. Like Italian Americans, those times were like, well, hot. You know what I mean? Like I think they was hot until the 80s, Italian Americans, but 40s and 50s, it was like, I think it was like
That was yeah.
You know, like it was our time. You know, like you had Willie Pep in those days. You had like, you know, Graziano, LaMotta, Basilio. You know, the gangsters were popular. You know, they were like super celebs back then. You know. Not that I'm not defending nor condoning nor condemning either. Don't get me wrong, because the government is your gangsters too. Well, that's another story for another day. But regardless, I think it was just the best era to be that combination of person, and LaMotta had that, and then still found a way to blow it. Yeah, I mean, and for me, it's like, wow, that's crazy. What a story. And then the redemption is that movie set him up for life. That making that movie about his life, you know, he found a way to blow the two best, the double dip combination of being an Italian American in that era and being a boxing world champion in that era. You know, crazy personality, wild person. You know, in the midst of Italian American culture, which is a nutty culture. Not, you know, it's like I always tell people, it's a bit of a cousin of Italian. It's not directly like Italians. It's a crazy culture. You know, funny at times, cool at times, but nonetheless. He found a way to blow that. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, you're an Italian-American boxing world champion in those days. For me, you must have it made. And he found a way to blow it. And, like, his life came apart. And then there's a redemption and stuff. So that's sort of the synopsis of the movie, you know? It's
holy shit. So it's like Adrian Broner, the Raging Bull of this generation, if he gets the comeback?
You know what? He's in a position to kind of do it, right? I mean,
because like he was thought of to be so much.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. But here's the thing. No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. Jake never remade himself in the ring. He blew that. He's lucky they made the movie about him. But even now, when they make movies about you, they don't cut the same kind of deals anymore. See, back then, life was more fair. Jake had royalties to that movie for life. When they made Vinny Pazienza's movie, they gave him, like, and Mickey Ward's movie decades later, they gave them like a flat fee, and then you're done. You don't get no royalties, you get nothing for life.
Wow.
So for Jake getting royalties for life from a movie that became a monster hit, he was set for life. You know what I mean? So that comeback also was because of the business moves and life being more fair at that time. Now they'll make the same movie and not give you the same kind of deal anymore, you know, because Hollywood just got even more greedy.
That's crazy that
so his comeback story wasn't in the ring. You know what I mean? Like his time in the ring passed. He didn't get to come back get to come back in the ring. His redemption came from them making a movie about him. And the movie being a hit because of the way it played out.
How sure are you about the Mickey Ward situation? Because I thought that Mark Wahlberg did that movie, and you know he was trying to get that movie bought, just like the Rocky, and everybody kept saying no, and then he finally did it.
Mark got it done, but I think Mickey had.
Damn, and he cut him a flat fee. Fuck.
Yeah, I think it was a flat fee. Yeah,
that's horrible, bro.
Yeah. But if it wasn't for Mark, the movie wouldn't have got made.
Absolutely, you know, so. But you know, fuck, flat fee sucks. Last two, Paulie. Big Casual. Do you think Jamal Charlo's style would give Canelo more problems tomorrow night than Bivol would this weekend?
Two different kind of fights. I don't know. I would have loved to see the Charlo fight. You know, two guys kind of the same size, clashing styles, very athletic. You know, people always talk about, has Canelo fought that African American style? You know, you haven't really seen it a lot. I mean, Caleb kind of had that style, but you know, I feel like Charlo is that style with a bit more firepower. You know, not to mention he's the African American, but I don't know. I would have. I think Bivol brings some problems to the fight. There's a lot of things. Again, you guys know how I feel about Eastern Europeans. I think he's there to fight, and I don't think he's going to break that easily. But the style matchup with Charlo, I would have always loved to see it. I fear that probably we're not going to get to see it now, or we, you know, they'll just wait it out. You know, it's because it's not like where we had David before. David's younger. I think David eventually, though he keeps looking the way he's looking, he's going to force Canelo to fight him. I mean, it's going to get to the point where if David keeps looking the way he's looking, people are going to start ridiculing Canelo if he doesn't fight Benavidez, you know? While Charlo's kind of the same age as Canelo, so you can kind of smoke him out and wait him out, kind of like he did Golovkin, you know? We'll see.
The best dad ever in Baltimore says, how do you feel about the lightweight division? True criticism of the top guys. Did Broner really take your girl? That's a side piece, man.
No, I mean, I don't know. I think that was part of the great sell of the fight. But no, it wasn't my girl. It wasn't even a girl I was dealing with at the time where I was.
Does that show how marketable you and Broner were in that fight? That fucking 10 years later, people still talking about, oh, he took your side piece.
You know what's funny? The two, it's pretty funny that this is why you can't take yourself so seriously in life. This is kind of a lesson too. And I don't really. Much of people wouldn't think I do. You know, that's why, you know, I like my life. It's good, you know, like which I could laugh at things, I could cry about things, or I could complain about things. I'll tell you the way they are. If you don't want to believe them, you don't have to believe them. But one thing about me, I'll always admit things, whether they are good for me, they'll make me look good or make me look bad. So if I'm telling you something wasn't the way it was, you just look at my track record. And when things are bad for me, I admit them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's the way it was. This kind of sucks. You know, it is. I felt this way. You see me describe my fights, even my worst moments in fights. I'll describe them for you. I don't try to sugarcoat them. I'll let you know. You know, it doesn't matter to me. So if I tell you something didn't happen, my track record should kind of make you believe that, you know, it was probably the way I'm telling you it was. But ironically, the two things people talk about me most now is thinking Broner took my girl. I think even Broner still believes he took my girl. I'm not quite sure, but I think somebody sent me an interview he did with Vlad TV. I think he still thinks it was my girl. You know, like, I actually had a girl at that time. Like, it wasn't my girl.
They was getting you in trouble. That's not even your girl.
No, but no, at the time I fight, because by the time I fought him, I hadn't even talked to that girl in months. You know, but whatever. I mean, at the time I even had a girl, but regardless, I just didn't like that she was trying to like get airplay off of the fight, and it was just annoying me. Like, I just wanted them to dead her, because I knew she was trying to get on one of those like reality shows, like Basketball Wives or Football Wives or whatever. She just wanted to do one of those things. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, stop giving her airplay. Like, this is like a talentless idiot. Like, you give her airplay, she's gonna wind up on VH1, and she, you know, at our expense. You know, like, what are you doing? You know, like, it's so weird. But going back to what I was saying, the two things people know, at least like refer to me to, are knocked down by McGregor and Broner taking my girl. Neither are true. It's crazy. Like, and you've heard me describe certain moments in the Cotto fight, certain moments in the Khan fight. If you guys go to Paulie TV, like bad moments where, like, I'll freely admit to you, I was hurt here. I was like, shit that just make me look bad, you know. But I mean, I'll admit it to you if it's true. Like, I'll tell you. But when it's not true, I'll, you know, look at my track record. I mean, I'll admit it all. So why would I tell you something's not true when it's true? You know. So, but ironically, even if I have this kind of personality and my track record tells you I have this kind of personality, people still they still take the bait on those two things, and it's probably the two biggest things, really. And neither are true. It's
Which
crazy.
sucks.
Not even the McGregor thing. It's not even anywhere close to true.
Brandon in Houston says, your favorite episode of The Sopranos?
That's everybody's favorite episode of The Sopranos, when they're in the woods. Paulie, and who was it? Was it with Chris in the woods, or was it?
No.
When they're in the woods with the Czechoslovakians. When they're chasing the Russian guy, like the Russian sniper guy.
Yeah. No,
but that is actually my favorite and the most disappointing, because they never followed it up. Like, the Sopranos script writing was so weird. Like, you could probably make a movie just on following up that, you know, that episode. They never followed up that episode. It's just like the next week you went to another episode, and it was like they didn't even mention it.
Did you guys see?
Not all the time, though.
No, they didn't know it all the time, but bro, sometimes it was fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's the best episode. That was my favorite episode.
Did you guys see the spinoff with with Tony as like younger person?
It's not a spinoff.
The prequel.
Yeah,
Now, I don't do anything modern anymore, because I've noticed they ruined everything, bro. They ruined Coming to America again, whatever. Point Break, they ruined. I won't do it anymore.
Wow, Point Break.
I will not. I won't do it anymore. I probably won't even watch this new Top Gun, bro.
What is just?
I won't.
Wait, well, he's in it though. He's in it. Tom is in it.
Eddie Murphy was in the new Coming to America. It still sucked. You know what I mean?
What is your
Did it suck?
thoughts on The Sopranos as a series?
You can't make a movie like that anymore, bro. It's too PC. You can't make a movie like that, bro. A movie like that has to be raw, and that's what made it great, funny, and everything. Hollywood got too PC. They ruin every movie now.
Paulie, just your thoughts on The Sopranos as a series.
I thought it was awesome. Might be my favorite series ever. You know, out of all series. You know,
It's mine. Only reason I was asking. So your thoughts? Did you watch it live? Like when it was airing.
Yeah, I would watch it. I mean, I wasn't home every Sunday to catch every episode, but I was keeping up, you know.
Because for me, it was funny. I felt that.
I'm from Bensonhurst. Everybody had to be home to watch Sopranos on Sunday nights, you know.
No, I just felt that like when I try to watch it, because obviously I'm a lot younger than you guys.
Oh yeah, I couldn't tell.
This guy. I felt like I was too young when I first. I think I was maybe 17 or 18 the first time I tried to watch it.
Yeah,
and I don't think I appreciated it as much. And then maybe like 2-3 years later, I went back, and by far that's my favorite all time.
That's when you come of age, you understand things better. First of all, I remember being a kid when I was first learning English and watching reruns of Three's Company. And then I watched, you know, I'm dating myself now and aging myself. But if you guys are young, you probably won't even know what Three's Company is. But you remember Three's Company?
Hell yeah.
He doesn't.
Come and knock on my door. They don't know about that shit,
I've been
bro.
waiting
They're
for
too young.
you.
They're too young.
But I watched Three's Company as an adult, and I'm like, yo, I thought the show was funny. I missed 3/4 of the jokes because they're all like subtle, dirty jokes. And I thought this whole show was hilarious when I was a kid because Jack Tripper's faces that he makes, you know, I thought it was funny. But bro, when you're an adult, you're like, you catch so much more. You're like, man, this show's even better than I thought. You know, it's crazy.
I got Mr. PBC who says, would you still fight Conor? He did say he knocked you down.
Only winner take all. That's it. I just turned down a.
Meaning what? Like,
well, you
your
can't
purse?
you can't do a winner take all really because the commissions won't let you. So what you would have to do is the loser gets $10,000 and the winner takes all the money. All the purse money.
Wow.
I would only do it that way.
But $10,000 doesn't even cover your camp expenses if you lose.
That's my problem, bro. I'm not losing the fight. I got one around against me, bro. Especially if I'm in shape. But he's not gonna do that. That'll be the only way I would do it. You can offer me whatever you want to offer me. I actually just turned down an exhibition on the Barrera Hatton card in England. They wanted me to do it against Dan Hardy of the ex-UFC fighter, boxing. But I turned it down. You know, I'm not looking to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore.
Training camp's a bitch, man. Who wants to go through that?
And I'm busy doing what I like anyway, you know, and it's not as difficult and it makes me good money. Like I don't have to do that. But for the right satisfaction, I would do it with Conor. But it have to be the right satisfaction. The right satisfaction is not just beating his ass at this point because he dragged us along and he dragged the whole lot. So I would have to be beating his ass and making him go home without a check or with barely a check, you know. That would be the only satisfaction. And then obviously he's never going to risk that because he knows what actually happened on that day and he knows what would happen in the ring. So he's no shot at that happened. But that would be the only way I would do it when it takes all.
Twin in Florida says, I get annoyed with the argument that some people...
Damn, bro, I thought you said 2 questions like 4 questions ago.
Yo, it's Paulie. People keep... this shit keep... Look, this is 23 minutes ago. The next one is 13 minutes ago. They keep coming, man. This is live entertainment. He's got to cut out. It's like I told David. But they said it's the last 2. We'll stop with Joel Valderrama as the last one. This is Twin in Florida. And he says, I get annoyed with the argument that some people have that Canelo GGG1 wasn't a close fight. Like yourself. Kind of does a disservice to a classic fight. What is it you see in that fight that makes you conclude a clear winner? I'll be looking for it, Paulie. But I actually watched that fight so many times, I don't think it'll change my mind. So why is it decisive for you that Triple G won?
I mean, again, I haven't seen the fight in years now, but Golovkin bossing it. Golovkin forcing the fight. They're fighting Golovkin's fight. Canelo is very timid in the fight. He lands the occasional shot here and there, but doesn't get respect from Golovkin. Golovkin has the consistency in the fight. He's making the fight and he's consistently making the fight. And you may have a criticism say, Golovkin didn't cut off the ring with Canelo in that fight either, but Canelo has such a dangerous left hook. Cutting off the ring on that side is a little bit risky. So I can see why Golovkin would have just followed him around. Listen, Golovkin doesn't know he's going to get robbed. So for him, okay, we'll do it this way and we'll take it to points and beat him easily on points. I bet you if Golovkin knows he's going to get robbed, he may try to cut off the ring and take the risk on that hook, and he's probably going to stop Canelo if he does that. Because Canelo, for me, made the distance only because he's able to find the out. For the second fight, he made some adjustments, and you had for me is a fight that's not appreciated enough, where both superstars made tremendous adjustments in the fight, and it was such high level chess that I think it's so high level that I think it goes above. I think it goes above most people's heads that watch the second fight. But the first fight, I mean, it's just not. You can't give me enough rounds for Canelo to win, even if you want to give me an extra round or 2. I thought he lost 9-10 rounds. Okay, so he lost 4 or 5. You definitely can't give him Definitely can't give him 6 rounds. I mean, you can find me 6 rounds. You can give Canelo in the first fight. You're being very biased. Very biased.
Yo, producer, we have to set up a date to do a
Fight
live film study, simulcast stream to both the Boxing Voice and Paulie TV, where we watch Canelo versus Golovkin 1. I guess we'll do it if he wins this fight. Then that will set up the big third
Yeah,
fight.
that would be good.
Which
Good
means it
segue
makes,
into a third fight. Sure.
Yeah, it makes more sense for us to review the first fight.
I think he's gonna fight Golovkin either way, even if he loses this fight, right? I mean, it's on the contract.
My intelligent co-host actually said that. He said that it's set up. The contract is set up in a way that if the Bivol fight is too dangerous, you go into the older Golovkin to get Canelo back into the win column.
Yeah, that's why I think he picked the matchroom deal. Because if he loses to Charlo, he's got to go and fight David Benavidez. I mean, you're not getting any softies there.
But, I mean, they did hook him up. It could have been Earl. It could have been Earl out of catchweight.
Actually, what I said was that the contract is set up to where Golovkin is not guaranteed to be next.
No.
So if the Better Beef Smith winner...
I don't know. Yesterday, Eddie said Canelo's not fighting Arthur. You would have to check it, but maybe they talk. Maybe they. I mean, he is a big ass puncher. I think Canelo can beat him because he's been down. So I'm looking at
numerous times.
I'm looking at Better Beef being down by way lesser men than Canelo, and I'm like, all right, Canelo should have the skill to find that hand on him.
That guy just barely touches you, and you seeing stars, man. I don't know.
Marcus Brown lasted how many rounds?
Marcus is more athletic, but he got broken. The will to win gets broken from you. It's taken from you way before that.
But he doesn't have the skill to fend off a Better Beef the way that Canelo does, right? He don't have that experience. He don't have the head movement. Damn sure ain't got the left hook or the power.
Saying it'll never happen, and it hasn't happened. I mean, this is the second fight he's fighting at light heavyweight. He's fighting all of them, but Better Beef. So I think he knows too. And listen, I don't even knock that. I mean, it's a bigger guy, it's another weight class, and it's a very big puncher at the weight class. So, I don't feel like you should force Canelo to fight him anyway, but I don't think it's a debate. He doesn't beat Better Beef. And I think he knows it when I'm fighting him, but it's okay. It's not a criticism. He's already the fact he's fighting at light heavyweight is already a big deal.
So you don't think his plan is to undisputed again? Because that's obviously what everyone assumes. Like, oh, he's going for undisputed again.
No, I think he's intelligently picking, but Bivol is very risky. But I think it wouldn't be an intelligent pick to pick Better Beef, and I don't think it's that important to him. I think he'd risk the loss to Usyk. I mean, you're risking the whole enchilada with Usyk, so even if you lose, you know what? What does it matter? It's Usyk. So it's win-win.
At fucking heavyweight.
Yeah, win-win, So, but other than that, I think he's picking and choosing. But listen, the basket is full of tough fights regardless. Bivol's not an easy fight. I think this is maybe his toughest fight since Golovkin.
If you are Usyk and his team, do you accept?
They already said they're willing to do it at 201.
He can make 201, Usyk? Yeah. I wasn't sure.
That's what Iga said. Iga said he would do it. He spoke for him on Twitter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, at this point, why make weight classes, right? I mean, Iga's
actually said, you can find it on Twitter, he actually said Usyk would make cruiserweight for Canelo, but Canelo wants it at 201. I guess he wants a heavyweight title.
He wants
to be the new Roy.
Heavyweight title, yeah. True.
Last one. It's not a question from Joe Valderrama. He says, not a question, Paulie, reminds me of Christopher from The Sopranos.
Chris Moltisanti, yeah. I've got
I don't know.
He was in Bad Boys, remember? He was in the tire shop, yeah.
He was in
the first Bad Boys.
Oh, man.
All right, since you stuck around, we got another one. Get him out of here, producer. That's your job. Save him. New York Bullet, ever wonder what it would have been like to have gotten the Mayweather fight? Oh my God, that's true. There was a time when Paulie was getting. I was
in the conversation for Pacquiao and Mayweather at various times in my career. Yeah, I wondered, but I don't live in the past. So, because if you live in the past, if you start to go down the what if rabbit hole, you're gonna depress yourself and just get yourself your head spinning around. Sometimes I start to question it, and then I'm like, what's the point? What's the point of even wondering that?
When you sit back and look at your career, what are you most proud of with your career?
I thought like when I was younger, I would be proud of championships and all this other stuff, and I would. But now, bro, seeing how dangerous it was, and seeing how sneaky and sly the business is, and seeing how many pitfalls there are both to your health and to your finances, I'm most proud of just being in a good position in my life after retirement, you know, and being able to still be involved in the sport where people still demand from me and want to hear me be involved, want to see me involved in the sport. I think that's probably what I'm most proud of about the whole thing, which if I would have given you if my younger self would have seen this answer 20 years ago, would have thought I was crazy, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know a lot more when you're older, so you learn to appreciate the subtle things.
Well, those are all the questions. I need Bo to go backdate all the super chats because I'm pretty sure we got a lot that were coming in during all those interviews. And if you haven't already done so, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel right here at youtube.com/theboxingvoice. While you're hitting the subscribe button, don't forget to stop at paulie.tv as well and hit the subscribe. He's actually killing it. I don't know if the messages have been making it back to you, but I've definitely been letting my producer know that Jimmy and yourself are murdering it. I've been watching very close. Dude, you're getting over 1,500 comments on your community page, man. Like when you post something.
Yeah, people like it, man. It's cool.
You're
you know, I'm still
man.
learning on the job. Shout out to Jimmy for helping me out with the page, but I'm still learning, you know. It's just like I just talk about something and, you know, people want to hear it. It's fascinating to me, you know. But then again, I realize I can talk. You give me a subject matter, and I will sometimes I will just talk and talk and talk. So it's funny that people want to hear it.
Gift the gab, gift the gab. But let's go ahead and run the promo so I can get these super chats for you. I'll grab my laptop. I don't want to leave any man behind. But we are doing something even more fantastic than tomorrow. So stick around and check it out. What up, TVV? Welcome to the Fight Stars Fight House Mansion. David Benavidez is inside training. Let's give you a walkthrough. Come on along.
Saturday, May 7th, 5 p.m. Oh!
Tomorrow, Benavidez fights. It goes down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And it is 6:50 Friday, and it's only a matter of hours before Canelo Alvarez gets in the ring to go for yet another title. Danny, what is this going to be? 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 10th, 20th division?
So many. Of this division?
Yeah, like how many division champion if he wins?
I mean, it won't increase. He's already a 4-time, so.
Oh. All right, well,
he would have to move up to cruiserweight, heavyweight, bridgerweight, you know, or down to welterweight, which obviously would never happen. So, yeah, he's already a 4-division champion, but obviously it is a belt that he has not, not added to his collection. So it'll be another belt to add to the collection.
Let's do it then. Let's get to these super chats. We never leave a man behind. Who's first on the list?
We're going to run through them. We got a lot of super chats. So I'm going to start with Average Boxing Fan, $4.99 super chat. He said, I'd rather see Canelo versus David because David is a stationary target. Like I said, David is a big Leo Santa Cruz, punches and bunches, and gets tagged a lot. And then we got Drew with a $1.99 super chat. Says, fans want Zurdo versus Benavidez winner. Gets Canelo.
I'll take it. I like Zurdo versus Benavidez.
And
he sparred him, so you see he's not afraid. Everybody he sparred, he's obviously not afraid.
I love that fight too, let me tell you.
We got Drew with another $1.99 super chat. Says, Zurdo Benavidez winner gets Canelo for Mexican glory.
Shout out to Drew for not being the 199 super chat normal hater. These are actually positive 199 super chats. I don't mind that fight. I like it.
Next, we got Chick Chickarelli with a $4.99 super chat. Said, "Yo, Paulie, I'm late, but did you find any good cannoli in Little Italy?" And
You late, and so is Paulie. He gone.
you got to be on that Patreon post or the YouTube members post to guarantee that your question does get asked. And we got LV Slugger with the $2 super chat. He says, "Paulie trying to save Loma from his third pro loss." Next, we
For sure.
Next, we got Prince of Power with a $5 super chat. He says, "Paulie got on a big cape for Eastern European. Shakur will punish Loma."
For sure.
Eric Cruz, $4.99 super chat says, "David, can you clarify this for the people? Many say Canelo cherry picked Yildirim. However, he was your mandatory originally. Did he cherry pick him?" Thinking emoji. And next we got Oscar with a $4.99 super chat says, September 16th, Mexican Independence Day, Canelo versus Bandera Roja, speaking it into existence. Boxing glove emoji, fire emoji.
Let's go.
And,
This year?
I guess this year. He didn't put a year on there, but September 16th is around the corner, so I'm assuming so.
No, I was just saying because that is Mexican Independence Day, but you know, this year the Saturday is the 17th.
You know
the
what?
16th.
The next super chat is Oscar again with 199. He says 2023 with a fire emoji.
That will be on a Saturday, which is also Mexican Independence. But let me tell you, you know what else?
What else?
It's my birthday.
Your birthday September 16th?
Yeah.
That's what's
Shout
up, my
out.
boy.
Which Canelo Triple G won fell on my 21st birthday.
And they try to
So-
say you ain't a real Mexican, bro.
Bro,
It's in you, not on you. You
it's
know what
in
I'm saying?
me,
You
bro.
ain't got to do no
Look,
extra stuff.
my 21st, I chose not to drink till after Canelo Triple G main event because I wanted to be sober while watching it.
That's good, bro. You're a true boxing fan as well.
Yo, totally off topic. How the fuck is Uber charging you for gas?
Because the prices went up, bro.
And it's California.
Yeah, Uber Eats charges you a surcharge too for all your deliveries.
Yeah. Word.
Bro, this part of the world is so trash. Like, why do y'all live here? I wouldn't even stand for it. I would move.
It's in Vegas too.
I'm like, again, I'm only in Vegas for one reason and one reason only. My home is in Florida. This is just a house. Like, this is retarded. Like, to see a receipt tell me I'm being charged for that man chose to be a fucking delivery driver. Why do I got to pay for his choice of fucking job? That's crazy, bro. Like, this world is crazy. I'm just sorry. This is terrible. They just steal money from you left and right.
Call him back over here and tell him how you really feel.
No, he's getting a 3-star review. He made me carry my own suitcase both times. If I could get you fired, he'd be fired.
Which driver was this? Did somebody?
It don't even matter. No driver that is taking you to and from the airport is supposed to make you pick up your own fucking suitcase. Never seen that done. Ever. Like, first of all, he goes to the back and just holds the trunk open as if it doesn't hold itself open. Have you ever seen a trunk that shuts on its own unless he's a fucking hoopty? What are you doing there? Stay in your goddamn car if you're not gonna help nobody. My little ass girl,
Watch this, watch
gotta
this.
struggle with the bag if I don't come and do it myself. You just standing there with the trunk like the trunk gonna close on us. Motherfucker, that shit is
They should do
automatic.
everything for every lady.
Watch this, and this is my friend. This is my friend.
Oh, boy, here
This is
he
the
goes.
beautiful thing. Champ, don't my trunk close on its own and it smacked you in the head before?
This trunk?
Yeah. To my car.
I said unless it's a hoopty.
Exactly.
Like Danny got a little hoop ride. He about to get the new Jeep
Yeah, he about to
Cherokee.
get the Jeep though.
But right now he got the hoop. You know what I'm saying? He got the G ride. That's what we call it in the hood. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't wait till you get the Jeep, Danny. You're going to feel better. You're going to be looking even better. You're going to be the man then. You're going to be official. Like a referee with a whistle.
You gonna want to work out every day.
Yeah. He going to be riding around with his shirt off. He got that, he got the
Nah,
all the
Mexican music.
hamburger
Bro,
meat.
no,
Nah, he got
I'ma
the
be
Mexican
honest.
music thumping in
Bro,
there.
let me tell you.
I'm
gonna be honest with you. Bro, I'm gonna be honest
Yo,
with
we
you.
need some copyright-free Mexican
The
music.
period of time where I had the most women in my life,
Was when you was fat.
I drove the biggest hoopty I ever had. So it was like,
So is that how you equate when your life is well with the amount of women you sleep with?
nah, I'm not saying that
think
was I think right now is the best time in my life, and you know, I ain't got no, you know, But it is
significant other, partner,
right,
woman, lady, shorty.
But now I was saying that to say, bro, as far as taking my shirt, I do that shit now. I don't give a fuck what I'm in, shirt coming off.
You just strip down to your underwear and dove in the
Nez
pool.
did that. I kept my socks
I'm Dominican, bro. We swim in the Rio all day, man.
All I seen was clothes peeling and body
y'all ain't
flying.
never been to the river. Y'all ain't never been to the river.
See, but boom, I took my shirt off.
Third world country, man. I come from where you got to kill what you eat. Not like fucking Jimmy Silver Spoon and shit. Sipping soup all his life.
Hey,
Jimmy come in with mad swag. He came in like floating.
Bro,
I don't even know this dude, but he just floated in here just now.
He's the one that made Paulie's channel what it is. So he could come in here like he's fucking on cloud 9 because he's proof of concept.
Nah, let me
Have they been giving you my shout outs? I've been shouting you. You work all the way in Cali, but I've been singing your praise, dog. You're killing it with Paulie's channel. Shout out to you. I love everything you're doing.
Shout out to Jimmy. Bro, let me tell you, I just stepped outside real quick because I just needed to clear my mind on the show. Jimmy, bro, I'm not even thinking. I'm hitting the weed. I pass it to Jimmy. Jimmy, take it. And
nothing like Kian, right? The non-drug user and shit. Makes you feel so bad because you smoke a little joint.
At the same time, Kian pretty blessed. I've seen the video of him doing all them flips off buildings.
Bro, I said that. That's another guy.
You did mention it, but that's why I looked at it.
I said that.
That dude the truth.
Shout out Clint. I said that I couldn't believe that they didn't develop Kian's channel.
Yeah,
like,
he can do
yo,
some stuff.
parkouring is big out here. Especially if you're not afraid.
I don't know
to
what
do
that word is, but I'm assuming
it's like when they running and jumping over
about.
buildings and flipping in front of moving cars and
See,
shit.
we need
I knew it was something about that
people
dude.
like Jimmy that appreciate marijuana, bro. You got people like fucking Omar, the camera guy, who he don't like to smell it, so he'll be like this.
All right, so who is Jimmy?
No, but Omar did good today.
No, Omar be like this
I had
with
to
the
make sure.
camera and shit. He'll be like this with the camera and shit.
Trying to make sure his nostrils
knocked
covered
down?
up. That was his phone.
Oh, just making sure it wasn't a drink.
Nah, that's just how Omar hold the camera and shit.
He did better today, though.
No,
I was
fucking
happy with the
fucking
promo.
He did good, and that was a fast turnaround too. It was like immediately after it was shot,
I think that was the fastest
edited.
he's ever done.
That was fast. Oh, during the interviews and what? Then I'm gonna get back to the super chats. But during the interviews and stuff, we had talked about like getting steals and whatnot. But he only sent me a few off like the very first interview. So I'm like, dang, he forgot to do it. I seen him sitting down at the very end of the last one. Mind you, I'm stressing. I'm like, I'm gonna get chewed out after the thing over. We ain't got no steals. He sent me all the rest of them. I didn't even see him taking the pictures, bro. He like a freaking ghost taking the pictures. He was sitting there just like this, and in the end, he got like all this work he's done.
He just needs weed, man.
He need weed.
He's mad, like he's always like, "Oh, I'm nervous.
I need
Oh,
my
I'm
soundboard.
overthinking." So it's like, just smoke, bro. Just fucking smoke, chill, get in the zone, block people out, bro.
Yeah.
But anyway, what you got next?
We got Mr. PBC with a $9.99 super chat. Says David versus Zerto is what the boxing gods want. Please make it happen. He got a WBA route or Anthony Yard. Then we got $1.99 from Mr. PBC. He says Bivol, baby.
Bivol.
And we got Gil Lopez, $2 super chat, says shout out David. Fist emoji, Mexican flag emoji, Ness and Danny, exclamation point.
Vamonos.
Then we got Big Super Mex with a $1.99 super chat says, Polly cooking you guys. I'm about to toss the towel in like Ken Porter. And we got
everybody got fans.
Cito the Great with a $1.99 super chat says, Pacheco, much love from Chi-Town, Little Village love. We got Juan Gamboa with his $10
that's what all the Mexicans be, bro. Little Village.
Little Village? What is that?
Bro, it's a neighborhood in Chicago. It's Mexican like city, bro.
Shout out to Jardín.
Shout out to Jardín.
Jardín.
Shout out to the next super chat Bo's about to read.
We got $10 from Juan Gamboa, and he said absolutely nothing. So I'm going to just take that as love.
Shout out to Juan.
Juan Gamboa came right back again with a $5 super chat and said, is more ducking a direct result of fighters having more control over their careers nowadays? And isn't that a good thing, question mark?
Is more ducking a direct of fighters having more control? I don't think so. I think if they had control, they wouldn't be ducking. I think fighters got into this sport because they love the fight, not because they, are great at business. And that's why they have advisors and managers to help them be great at business.
Do you think it's a good thing?
That they're in control of their career? Yeah. Look at Earl.
I just had to ask the second part of his question. And we got Tip Bayless with a $1.99.
Hey, Tip.
$1.99 super chat says, hashtag off topic, But have y'all ever watched The Raid?
Never heard of it.
Never
What is
heard of
that?
it. I have no idea. And we got the Axiom with a $4.99 super chat says, definitely check out a mini series on HBO called We Own the City. Same writers from The Wire about crooked cops. A1 must watch.
I think I've seen one episode. I can't stay in it.
Damn, after one episode, you gave up?
Gave up.
Let me refresh.
Refresh. Is it over? Can I smoke yet?
I think it may be. You check your super chat. I mean, no, we got Sammy Montanez.
Why you low
with
my
the
camera,
$1.99 super
motherfucker?
chats? He said Ness Hollywood now can't carry a suitcase.
I'm just saying, if you're paying for a service, that's like checking into a hotel and telling a bellhop, no, I'll carry my own bag. Like, no, fucker, that's your job.
Then we got King Boxing Pound for Pound who says, give me one moment. I'm in Vegas for my first Canelo fight, man. Canelo sure does bring out the boxing fans now. I see why everybody calling his name. Canelo is a economy. And let me refresh again. Cash apps, Andy?
City lit right now, man.
Word is born.
I got hella friends.
We
in Vegas.
here.
Nah, but I'd rather be here with David. I'm being
Word.
honest. This was a fantastic little. You see, for me, I don't know. I'm just super appreciative. This is big for me.
This is huge.
I feel like this is gonna live forever. We'll be, you'll be in the fight and somebody's gonna walk up like, yo, I seen that video you did with David watching the Canelo fight. I guarantee.
Y'all got to make sure
that happens.
y'all check the IG lives and IG stories as well, due to the fact that we are going live and they allowing us access. We're going live, shooting hoops with the fighters, in the gym with the fighters around the pool.
I
fighters
scared
in the
everybody off in
kitchen.
the community now.
Yeah, you was dunking on a few.
That's what I'm saying. So
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
it.
You got
Remember
you got a
all
couple
that shit we
bodies under
used to
your belt
talk?
today.
They used to, oh, Ness, you can't ball, you all. And I'm like, yo, I'm on Twitter dunking, and nobody ain't believe. Now it's over. We ain't never getting no barbecue with basketball games against Ness. Y'all afraid of me.
I will give them a fair shake and did say that they did run 8 miles prior to
And
playing
I did,
basketball.
and I did
Like
have,
right after
and
they-
I did have
or
the
right
only,
before.
and I did have the only favorite Yeezys on that my own girl gave me, so I ain't want to fuck them up, so I took it soft on them because of the sneakers.
Kanye
I
said
was, bro,
Yeezy
I
jumped
was
over
in my
Jumpman.
fucking chanclas, bro.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah,
Danny
you
was in
definitely
Chanka. We did that, yo. We did that shit like, you know what I'm saying, like without even thinking. Imagine we went in there really
like
ready.
Pippen and Jordan. Y'all like
Yeah.
Pippen and Jordan and that.
Bruh, if
no,
I-
like
if I go-
Kobe and Shaq.
If I go in there with some basketball sneakers and a headband, it's over. Don't make me put the fucking Nike headband with the one check. I'm boy, tongue out Jordan style. Telling you.
All right.
Look at Daddy.
Kobe and Shaq. We got Tip Bayless with a $4.99 super
Shout
chat.
out to Tip. He back.
He says, you gonna love that movie. Watch a trailer.
Which one? Raid.
Yes, The Raid. So let me refresh again, because every time I refresh, it looks like more people keep sending stuff.
Well, don't
now.
stop refreshing.
I'm not gonna stop
We're
refreshing.
going to do a 24-hour live stream right now. First $500 super chat. We're going 24 hours.
I'm ready.
Look at the whole Sticky Paw. Only Sticky Paws laugh like, you're right. What a great joke, Ness. We'll never go live. We'll never go live for 24 hours. Nah, Travis was like, actually inside, Travis was like, do. He's stealing your idea. Do. Sticky Paws went live. Do. Because you know they did 24 hours
Nah,
already.
bro, but that's only for they people, bro. For us, you ever heard of child work laws and working too much?
When it comes to us, they work too much.
No, we will not. We will not do.
No, actually, shout out. No Cash App. We're done. Actually, we do have a hat purchase on Cash App from Raymond Gastelum Jr., who has to send you the address. He just paid. But I do want to give a shout out, deep, sincere shout out to Sticky Paws because
Bullshit.
No, it ain't bullshit. Actually, Trav, I didn't know. Like, I forgot that you guys had that networking thing. So that, like, honestly, that's amazing for you guys to come, especially you. You're like one of the head honchos to be here, having that. And I seen the video. Shout out to you guys. Like, I'm actually jealous that we're here because I could imagine out of the fucking 500 people that was in that parking lot, I probably would have made some good networking relationships that could have helped this show. I'm amazed you guys had that many people there, man. I know it must have sucked for you to be here and not there with something you planned. So shout out to you because, again, watching all those people, I could only think of like, damn, What deals and opportunities did I miss by not being there, man?
I seen some of the setting up for that. They had like tubs of sliced limes. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It
they
like-
was getting had.
it was-
White boy
it was a
crazy
lot of
out there,
stuff.
boy. It's a white boy party. They was getting drunk, bro.
Bruh, it was every space on the
I seen
counter
somebody
was
jump
full
off
of
the
liquor
roof.
bottles. Like
They had like
Bro.
a pool. Someone jumped off the roof.
Bro, they had like fucking complimentary like party treats and shit, like little acid bags and shit.
What?
I don't know about all that. I ain't see that part. I seen a lot of other stuff.
Yo,
John
they get
Orlando
crazy
did
as
not
sticky
have
balls.
acid bags.
They get crazy as sticky paws.
We got Jaime Hernandez 7 who says, check Twitter. Stevenson versus Tank anyone? LOL, LOL.
Oh wow, they beefing on Twitter already. That would be right on time with Tank being a free agent. This is exactly what we need. But look, that's the last Cash App and the Super Chat. And it's a wrap. No more shows today. We'll be back mañana a las 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be right here with David Benavides. He'll be in the middle. You'll be there. Paulie be there. I'll be here. You'll be there on the other side. Make sure you share the show and the episode. Link is already out. You can start sharing right now. And hit the reminder, too. If you hit the reminder, YouTube will remind you when we're going live. So don't just click the notification bell because that's only for every single upload. You hit the reminder on this particular episode, and I don't mean this one what you're watching now. I mean this one that's scheduled for tomorrow at 5. Should we end with the promo? Let them know again. Cut to the promo.